Meet Shi Yu, an archeologist. During a dig at some ruins, our guy gets into an accident and falls into a coma. And bam, he's isekai'd into a whole other world. He's just lying there when a book falls off a shelf and smacks him right in the head. That wakes Shi Yu right up. He looks around, totally lost. This isn't his house, and it's definitely not a hospital. He rushes to a mirror and holy crap, why is my face so young? He looks down and, bro, why isn't his junk fully grown yet? Back in his world, he was famous for being stacked. He realizes he must have been isekai'd, and into the body of a high school kid, no less. Shi Yu picks up the books that hit him. Why are these all handbooks and starter guides for becoming a beast tamer? Suddenly, memories from this world flood his mind. This is ICEFIELD City, a pet nurturing base. This isn't Earth. It's a planet called Blue Planet. On Blue Planet, anything from animals and plants to even rivers, mountains, and the wind can become extraordinary life forms with insane intelligence. And they have some seriously powerful abilities. From an Earthling's perspective, you'd call them divine beasts. But to handle them, humans needed their own OP ability, the power to tame these divine beasts. Some people can open a contract space in their brain through meditation, letting them capture and control these incredible creatures. With the help of this beast taming space, humanity built a glorious civilization known as the Age of Beast Tamers. And beast tamers are the absolute elite of this era. Outside of human territory, though, it's still the domain of these extraordinary creatures. These vicious beasts often bring disaster down on humans. And according to the memories, this world's Shi Yu lost his entire family during a divine beast rampage, becoming an orphan. Through these memories, our MC starts to get the gist of this world. Shi Yu slowly begins to merge with this new body. He's just a normal intern at the pet breeding base in ICEFIELD City. But when he thinks about it, even after getting isekai'd, he's still broke with no family. Rent, bus fare, loan payments. His job today is to feed the pack of ICEFIELD wolves. These ICEFIELD wolves are carnivorous, pack-based, and extremely aggressive. This mission, just thinking about it gives Shi Yu chills. It's dangerous. But our guy has a talent for telepathy. He can talk to any living creature. While it's useless in combat, it's super important for communication, teaching, and researching beasts. So yeah, it's definitely useful. With this ability, Shi Yu figures he can easily talk to the wolf pack without getting his face ripped off. He then tries to open the beast taming space in his mind. Suddenly, a book appears. Shi Yu thinks, is this my second ability? A new beast skill index has been unlocked. Turns out, when people awaken their beast space, they get a new taming talent. Talents are split into enhancement and special types, with the special ones having like a 0.1% drop rate. Enhancement talents can buff specific types of beasts. That's the standard issue talent. Special talents, on the other hand, are way more complex and vary wildly. Things like fusion and resonance. His original telepathy talent is one of the most common ones out there. But plot twist. The second talent Shi Yu got can literally copy the abilities of extraordinary creatures and log them into an index. Any ability he collects can then be freely taught to other creatures. To copy an ability, he has to meet 3 conditions. First, he has to personally see the target use the skill. Second, he has to make direct physical contact. And finally, he has to touch them within 1 hour of seeing the skill used. And teaching these copied skills to other beasts has its own set of requirements. Plus, the beast being taught needs to be compatible with the skill. So many limitations, but still, a skill this broken would make any other beast tamer go absolutely insane with envy. After processing all this, Shi Yu's head is spinning. But whatever, it's a good thing. He'll just take it as the one and only perk of being an isekai protagonist. He glances at the clock and panics. Crap, it's getting late. He's gotta hurry. He can't let the wolf pack go hungry. He gets to work and finds the box of meat. No wonder regular people can't become beast tamers. These pets eat better than most humans. These beasts are definitely living the good life. As he's carrying the crate, 3 other guys come up to him. You heading to feed the ICEFIELD wolves? They're not exactly friendly, man. Be careful. On the way, Shi Yu also remembers that the original owner of this body was a total loner who hated talking to people. That's why he never made any friends after starting this job and didn't really fit in. It explains why this body's social life is completely empty. He figures he'll just focus on getting used to this world first. Making friends can wait. In a flash, Shi Yu arrives at the ICEFIELD wolf enclosure. The pack immediately surrounds him. They start grumbling. You're late! We're starving to death over here. As expected, Shi Yu understood everything. Bro was so scared he almost pissed his pants. Is he a beast breeder or emergency rations? Luckily, the Wolf King shows up right then, letting out a howl and walking right up to Shi Yu. It just brushes past him, marking him with its scent. I mean, hey, at least it's more civilized than just peeing on him, right? Suddenly, a bunch of skill books pop up in his mind. He just copied the Wolf King's deterrent skill. Wait, it worked just like that? Shi Yu is secretly hyped. He wants to try teaching this skill to other beasts, but then remembers he's still just an intern. Gotta focus on the job for now. On his way back, Shi Yu spots a billboard with a panda on it. An Iron Eater beast? Turns out, the original Shi Yu of this world had already pre-ordered one. So, pandas from his Earth are Iron Eater beasts here? Wild. But it's only classified as a B-rank transcendent species because its main racial skill is just hardening. Well, the down payment's already been made. And hey, its rarity and looks are still decent. The only reason he could even afford it is because its tier and racial skills are pretty limited. Plus, there were some special discounts. Shi Yu figures he can use the Iron Eater beast to convert metal ores into a body hardening skill. Add the deterrent skill he just copied, plus some sensory and speed skills. Bro, by the time he's done, this Iron Eater beast might just become the Panda King. But he can only get a loan to pick up his pre-ordered Iron Eater beast times after times he finishes his internship and gets his official breeder license. Guess he's gotta keep grinding. Who knows? Maybe he can copy a few more skills while he's added a total bonus. The afternoon's task for Shi Yu and the crew? Observe and record the behavior and growth of the green cotton worms. The supervisor tells them that even though it sounds simple, they better take it seriously. Screw it up, and you'll have to deal with thousands of these green cotton worms and start over. Shi Yu checks them out and sees that while there are a ton of them, they're super weak, but they have huge growth potential and can even evolve. This little guy is the green cotton worm. It has no element, and it's a C-rank transcendent species. Its racial skill is worm silk. The description says it's a farmable species, its silk is widely used, and it has multiple evolution paths. Shi Yu gives them a friendly hello, and what does he get? Dozens of silk threads, shot, right in his face. What a bunch of little jerks. But man, this counterattack is seriously weak. He picks one up, and the system actually suggests teaching it the deterrence skill. Is this thing gonna turn into the green cotton worm king? Yo, I can't believe it's actually compatible. Just from touching the worm, Shi Yu copies a new skill, worm silk. Ugh, this thing is completely useless and does 0 damage. That night, Shi Yu is scrolling on his computer. He realizes that out of the 51 pet species at the Icefield City breeding base, none have the recon skill he wants to copy. The awakened skills of the baby pets here are all basically low tier, with nothing worth copying. Shi Yu starts to wonder, does the copy skill from his second talent have a limit? It looks like until he figures out that limit, he should probably just focus on copying mid and high tier skills. He remembers something from this morning. Those 3 dudes were talking about how the dandelions in the infirmary have some seriously high-level healing skills. Looks like the Icefield City breeding base doesn't just have a ton of wild pets, but a lot of beast tamers too. Time to switch targets. Shi Yu starts looking for the infirmary, faking a hand injury to go see the doctor. She says she'll give him a quick look, and with a snap of her fingers, she summons a dandelion beast. It touches Shi Yu's hand, and the doctor says it'll be over in a sec. To be fair, his hand actually times a little sprained, but it wasn't that bad. But the second that Dandelion touches him, the pain just vanishes. Damn, the infirmary at this breeding base is the real deal. The system pings. He's copied the high-speed regeneration skill, an extremely rare healing ability. Shi Yu is stoked. It worked just like he planned. Tonight was just a test run. He's still got 3 months left in this internship, so there will be plenty more chances. Shi Yu thanks the doctor and dips back to his room. He figures that only when a beast tamer and their pet's abilities hit a certain level can they take the official assessment. The Beast Tamer Association's standardized assessment. If you pass, you level up from an intern tamer to a full-fledged official beast tamer. He wonders how long it'll take for a guy with 2 beast taming talents like him to become an official beast tamer. 3 months fly by, and it looks like his skill book collection has finally hit its cap. Good thing Shi Yu realized this early on and didn't waste his slots copying low-tier skills, or he would have been totally screwed. Supervision, a skill for enhancing eyesight, and this one's from the sleepy worm, a high-tier transcendent skill, super deep sleep. When a pet uses it on itself, it instantly falls into a deep sleep, and its body recovers stamina at an insane speed. Shi Yu realizes that if he wants to increase his copy skill limit, he'll probably have to unlock some other special talents to level up his own beast tamer rank. Beast tamers level up their abilities through meditation, which constantly strengthens, modifies, and expands their beast taming space. The stronger your beast space, the higher the pet's contract level, and the stronger your bond with it. A better environment in the beast space means your pet grows way faster. Beast tamers upgrade their space based on their needs, and as it levels up, their own beast taming talent gets a massive boost too. Shi Yu sets a goal: become an official beast tamer within 1 year. With his intern certificate in hand, he's totally hyped to go pick up his panda. He gets there quick, but man, climbing all those stairs completely wiped him out. He's absolutely stunned when a giant panda appears right in front of him. It greets him and says it's an employee here. Turns out, it's not a real iron-eating beast, just a girl in a cosplay outfit. She says that to raise an iron-eating beast properly, you have to understand it inside and out. That's the most basic knowledge for any breeder. Then she leads him inside, takes off the costume, and reveals a super cute girl underneath. She tells Shi Yu his paperwork is all set, and he can get his beast today. But he's a little late. If he'd come earlier, he would have had his pick of the litter. But now, all the cubs have been claimed except for one. And this last one, well, it has some personality and physical issues. What a letdown, especially after how excited he was. The two of them head over to where the little panda is. Just one look at its face and you can tell it's stubborn, but Shi Yu says it looks normal enough to him. What's the problem? The second he says that, the panda turns and headbutts the tree in front of it. Seeing that, Shi Yu immediately takes back his words. Okay, yeah, this thing is not the sharpest tool in the shed. The girl explains that this iron-eating beast had some problems during its birth. Because of the difficult delivery, its physique is weaker than the others. All the other cubs its age have already awakened their hardening skill. This is the only one that hasn't. The longer it takes to awaken the hardening skill, the weaker its talent is considered to be, which is why nobody chose it. On top of that, its personality became different from the rest of the pack because of it. Most of the others are super gentle and would never attack other creatures. She says the headbutting just now, wasn't it being dumb? That's actually how it trains to get stronger. It pushes itself in a weirdly disciplined way and is always actively trying to train, hoping it can awaken its hardening skill soon and become stronger. This is a pretty rare kind of iron-eating beast. It's not lazy, and it actually has dreams. Yeah, lady. Stop with the sales pitch trying to get him to buy it. But Shi Yu doesn't think like me. He's actually super interested because this little guy has so much ambition. The girl tells him not to worry, it just has a congenital growth delay. If he puts it in his beast space to nurture it, its health should recover quickly. Besides, a self-disciplined iron-eating beast like this is a rare find. Hearing her hype it up like that, Shi Yu decides to take it. He figures, with his system hack and the panda's own effort, turning it into an OP beast will be simple. The last thing he wants is a docile pet that just eats and sleeps all day. Because the little guy is a bit of a runt, the center throws in a free 1-month combo of iron bamboo for him. The girl calls it 11, since it was the 11th cub in its litter. It seems a little stubborn about being adopted, but the girl starts playing mind games with her words again. Plus, Shi Yu sweetens the deal, telling 11 that if it comes with him, it'll have unlimited food and a house full of lady pandas. Hearing that, it finally agrees to go with Shi Yu. He goes up to form the contract with 11, and the process is way more draining than he expected. But finally, it's done. Shi Yu feels his entire body recover in an instant as soon as 11 enters his beast space. Shi Yu could already feel some of his own physical stats increase. He asks the girl if he can take a look around the place. He lies and says he wants to see 11's old home to get used to it. But what he's really doing is looking for any beasts with decent skills he can copy. Shi Yu manages to copy a hardening skill from another iron-eating beast to teach to 11 later. Back home, Shi Yu excitedly summons 11. Seeing how cute it is, he decides not to make it help him clean the house. Thanks to the beast space, it quickly learned the basic hardening skill, just like the other iron-eating beasts. He thinks back, wondering if that girl, Lin Juju, was reliable at all. She clearly said it would take about a week for it to awaken the skill, but it's already done. That was insanely fast. Shi Yu reads in a book that normally, training a low-level skill, from entry-level to proficient, takes at least a month of hard work. He has the idea to try and borrow a silk shooter skill to teach 11, but the system says skill compatibility is 0 and cannot be taught to this target. Shi Yu is wondering where to go to test it out when he suddenly spots a worm on a tree and orders 11 to go get it. It bolts forward with incredibly agile movements, snatching the little worm and bringing it to Shi Yu. Trying to run, Shi Yu lunges forward. Our guy gets a cheat skill that lets him teach his pets any ability. He's broke, so he grabs a totally trash-tier silkworm. One tap from his broken system, and bam, its silk skill proficiency skyrockets. Now, that weak-ass silk is S-rank quality. This worm is his ticket to getting filthy rich. He starts teaching it a skill. But man, this thing drains a ton of stamina. In just a moment, he's hungry, tired, and even sleepy. Looking at the worm, Shi Yu notices a new line on its back. Did it actually work? Its thread spit skill got stronger. The worm used its silk to tie up Shi Yu's hands. He feels like even though it's stronger, it's still way too weak for him. He can snap it wide open with no effort. Looks like the worm's silk thread proficiency has already reached the proficient level. Its strength is now on par with a high-level green cotton worm raised on special feed at a breeding facility. Not only did the skill's proficiency increase, but its rank did too. Shi Yu wonders if the green cotton worm's deeper understanding of its racial grade boosted its power, kicking off its second awakening. Either way, this experiment with the skill copying codex was a massive success. Rummaging through the book, Shi Yu wants to try teaching another skill, but when he touches it, a message pops up. Skill teaching is on an 8-hour cooldown, which, when he thinks about it, makes sense. Even though the stamina drain was manageable this time, spamming this ability would totally knock him out. The 8-hour cooldown is basically a safety feature. He probably needs a good meal and a long nap to recover. To use this skill codex properly, he's gonna need some serious training. A no-rank skill already has an almost 8-hour cooldown. A low-rank one might take 1 or 2 days. He can't even imagine the cooldown for intermediate, advanced, or super rank skills. Shi Yu then puts the worm back in its cage. Bro, this cage must have come from a dollar store. The bars are so wide the worm can just crawl right out. How weird. Shi Yu says to 11, "I'm gonna go make dinner," and tells him to rest up. "I'll call you when it's ready." Rest? Are you kidding me? It just awakened a skill. There's no way it's taking a break. It says it's already fallen way behind other Iron Eater beasts its age. It has to train. It has to train right now. Damn, what Lin Yuzhu said was totally on point. This bear is definitely not normal. Just as Shi Yu tells him there's no need to rush and that taking a break is fine. He tells him to just practice in the garden to get the skill proficiency up first. He tells him to focus on equipping the hardening skill to one body part as quickly as possible. Everything else can wait. But is he seriously training his skill's intensity by ramming into a tree? Bro, that's just reckless. This level of self-motivation is going to be exhausting. Looks like Shi Yu needs to start making money fast to buy some proper training equipment. And thinking about money, he immediately thinks of the worm he just caught. The better the quality of the green cotton worm he raises, the higher the price he can sell its silk for. While training 11, he can also spend some time raising the green cotton worm. After all, right now the little guy only eats regular leaves. Once the silk thread proficiency reaches the perfect level, the quality of the silk will definitely be just as high. Wouldn't he become a tycoon in no time? The long day passes, and 11 is completely wiped out. He absolutely refuses to eat until he finishes his training. And even after eating, he goes right back to it. Is he worried that if he doesn't perform well, he'll be abandoned again? Shi Yu recalls him into the beast taming space to rest. The next day, the skill codex's cooldown is over. The thought of being able to teach his beast another skill makes him incredibly happy. Looks like today he can try teaching the hardening skill. But before that, there's a place he wants to go. Seeing yesterday's worm munching on leaves, Shi Yu thinks, this thing is so weird. Other creatures flock to nutritious plants, chasing growth and evolution. But this one is completely different. Just chilling at his house, eating leaves from his homegrown tomato plant, unbothered by the world. No wonder it's malnourished. If he hadn't used the codex skill to teach it, it probably would have never reached its second evolution in its entire life. When he gets back, he'll pick up some different plants from the roadside to upgrade its diet. As the future provider of the silk he's gonna sell, he can't let it die from malnutrition. Shi Yu then heads into town. The place is totally different from his memories. This one dude looks like a total baller, riding a sleigh pulled by 2 snow foxes. Shi Yu finally finds the place from the business card he saw earlier. He immediately asks the saleswoman if they buy silk thread. She says yes, but they need silk produced by green cotton worms that feed on rare medicinal herbs, and the quality has to be high grade. Only after passing their inspection will they buy it directly. She hands him a price list. The high prices make Shi Yu's head spin. Selling silk thread is insanely profitable. As long as he can get the silk quality to perfect level, it'll cover 11's training costs, and he might even have enough to go on a shopping spree. In the end, Shi Yu buys some medicine and heads home. Not having a phone means he can't use mobile pay, and he can't even take the bus. The walk is exhausting. It seems like once he makes some money, the absolute first thing Shi Yu wants to do is cop a new one. Our guy cops an iPhone 14 Pro Max, 512 gigs, just to dominate in Free Fire. Back at his place, Shi Yu unloads his haul, the meds he just bought, and a box of energy capsules. Looks like the ingredients are from some kind of supernatural plants. The effect is simple. It gets rid of physical weakness and boosts your stats. Yo, with this stuff, he'll definitely burn less stamina when using the skill book. He summons 11, who seems to be in much better spirits. Man, the beast taming space is seriously OP. The moment it pops out, all it thinks about is training. But Shi Yu wants to teach it the hardening skill first. No hesitation. Shi Yu immediately uses the skill book to transfer the skill over. And yeah, the stamina drain is way bigger than that piddly web shooting skill. It wasn't bad enough to make him pass out, but his body got crazy weak for a second. Good thing those new meds helped him bounce back. 11 learned the skill and instantly wanted to show off. Boom! In a flash, 11's paw turns hard as rock and smashes Shi Yu's courtyard floor to bits. Bro, this thing is about to cause some serious trouble. Shi Yu immediately tries to stop it, but 11 claims it couldn't control its power. It was just a small test. Who knew it'd get that wild? Turns out, it had already leveled the skill up to the proficient stage. Even though it got an earful, it was hyped about how much stronger it had gotten. 11 was totally pumped. Shi Yu immediately got cocky, like, you see how much of a boss I am now? 11 thought that was totally illogical. Getting so OP without any training, it's like a noob using hacks. But it loves its big bro. It said that even though it didn't earn this proficiency level through hard work, it would make up for it today. Getting gains without the grind? It's not about that life. It declares it's taking on a 24-hour, non-stop training challenge. This panda leaves him speechless. If you train for 24 hours straight, you won't go from novice to proficient. You'll go from novice to 6 feet under, my guy. But even after that lecture, the stubborn 11 just keeps on training. Meanwhile, Shi Yu is still studying the skill book. The stamina drain wasn't massive, but the cooldown time has increased. He has to wait a full 24 hours before he can teach another skill. Right now, 11's hardening skill is already at the proficient level. Its duration and stability have also improved a lot. It can now hold the skill for a full 30 seconds. Its activation speed has gotten way better, too. Now, 11's main training goal is to quickly harden multiple body parts at the same time. This is critical in a fight. Mastering this means it can basically attack and defend simultaneously. That's the entire training regimen. Still no exercises related to the raw power of the hardening skill, though, because this house is way too flimsy. It can't take that kind of abuse. But regardless of whether the training plan is complete, 11's training intensity is insane, and as a result, its appetite has shot through the roof. The resource drain inside the beast taming space is also increasing. Besides the beast taming talent, leveling up the space itself is part of the training, and it's something every beast tamer has to deal with. Strength, environment, and scale. These are the 3 core elements of the beast taming space. Strength determines the space's binding power, perfect for tamers who swap out weak beasts for stronger pets. Environment determines how well a pet absorbs nutrients from food inside the space, and how much combat EXP it gains. The better the environment, the faster the pet will grow. Scale determines how many pets a beast tamer can have, ideal for tamers who fight with a whole squad. They win by overwhelming opponents with sheer numbers. Shi Yu gets ready to head out. 11 needs to practice its hardening skill. So, training equipment is a must. But apparently, pet training gear is crazy expensive. So he's heading out to see if he can find any cheaper training alternatives. While walking, he starts planning out his future cultivation path. Based on his and 11's situation, they absolutely have to focus on maxing out the environment of the beast taming space. 11 was born in a breeding facility, so unlike wild pets, he barely has to worry about the space's binding power. At the same time, he has no plans to get a second pet. So, the scale of the beast taming space isn't a priority either. That means the most important thing right now is to build a comfortable space for it. Helping the iron-eating beast grow is the #1 goal. Once that's done, with a great beast taming space and proper rest, no matter how hard 11 trains, its body won't suffer any strain. With 11's self-discipline and the boost from the beast taming space, as long as it has enough nutrients, it'll only take a short time for it to level up. But now Shi Yu's getting a headache, because at that stage, the food costs are going to be insane. But after thinking it over, as long as the iron-eating beast can grow quickly and fight on its own, it'll all be worth it. The next day, the green silkworm at Shi Yu's house is living the good life, because its cage isn't just full of tangerines, but a bunch of other new leaves too. Shi Yu isn't just sitting around either, he gets to work. Hugging a thermos, he sits meditating in the yard, trying to alter the environment within his beast taming space. He let out a breath. The beast taming space upgrade was almost complete. Once 11 finished training, he'd be able to move into his new home. As usual, 11 was self-motivated today. He was in the garden, diligently training his hardening skill all by himself. Every so often, Shi Yu would crack an eye open to check on his progress and take notes, just so the little guy felt supervised. A knock came at Shi Yu's door. 4 deliverymen, plus an adult iron-eating beast, were hauling massive steel plates into the house. The delivery boss assured Shi Yu that these were the high-strength alloy steel plates he'd ordered. If there were any quality issues, he could return them, no questions asked. After sending the delivery crew off, Shi Yu smirked to himself. As for the quality, he'd have to let 11 run the inspection. With that thought, Shi Yu summoned 11. This time, the summon felt a little different. Shi Yu stared in absolute shock at the newly summoned 11. Shi Yu couldn't believe it. With the lessons from the skill book and just 1 day of high-intensity training, 11 had already broken through to the 4th awakening level. At this point, 11's physical stats and energy had both been massively boosted, reaching awakening level 4. Not only was 11 ecstatic, but his beast tamer, Shi Yu, was obviously thrilled as well. He was another step closer to becoming a professional beast tamer. Feeling great, Shi Yu was in a generous mood. Awesome. To celebrate, I'm going out to buy some gourmet food and add a few extra dishes to your meal. 11 nodded his head repeatedly. Now that we have new training equipment, Shi Yu said seriously, I think it's time to add hardening skill reinforcement to your schedule. Even though you know this place isn't exactly suited for you to go wild with your destructive hardening skill, training it is an absolute must. Before Shi Yu could even finish, 11 turned around and stuck his butt out towards him. He was suggesting that Shi Yu could just hit him with some hard objects, that it would count as training for his hardening skill. He even argued it might be more effective, and that he could totally take it. A brave iron-eating beast fears no pain. Shi Yu shook his head. No way, I can't bring myself to hit you. 11 was incredibly moved by his beast tamer's kindness, but in reality, Shi Yu was just afraid that punching this hardened lump of iron would probably make his own hands go numb. Besides, it wasn't even very effective. Shi Yu told 11 to turn around and look, introducing him to the high-strength alloy steel plates he'd prepared. I can't let you smash the walls, but these are fair game. Plus, if you feel like your own power isn't enough and the training isn't doing much, you can just lay them on the ground, stack them up, and then borrow the power of gravity and let the planet help you train. From the tree, from the roof, harden your whole body and just jump straight down onto the steel plates. Our tangerine tree and the roof are pretty high up. I'll call it the free fall training method. You can even change the jump height to adjust the training intensity. Isn't that way more effective than me hitting you with a whip? When you can jump down from the clouds without a scratch, you'll be invincible. After understanding the training regimen, 11's eyes began to glow. What a genius training method. 11 thought his beast tamer was absolutely brilliant. Could any normal person even think up such a brutal training method? After dinner, the green silkworm was chilling in its birdcage, leisurely munching on tangerine leaves. A moment later, it was completely stunned by 11's training, thinking to itself, what kind of freaks live in this house? Because it saw 11 climb onto the roof and dive straight down, slamming right into the alloy steel plates. 11's eyes were filled with determination as a loud times, CLAing times echoed out. He shattered 3 or 4 layers of steel. 11 looked at his handiwork with satisfaction, but the downside was, even with his hardening skill, he still got hurt. The scratches on his skin were painful just to look at. After looking at his wounds for a moment, 11 waved a paw and used his high-speed healing ability. Multiple streams of green light appeared on his arm. He was good as new in an instant. 11 was overjoyed. He felt his beast tamer was just so incredible. To be able to teach him such an amazing skill. His admiration for Shi Yu leveled up once again. After his moment of celebration, he pulled out a few more alloy plates and got right back to training. Shi Yu sat inside, sipping his tea. Hearing the constant times, clanging times from outside, he thought to himself, training with these alloy plates really is effective. By now, 11's hardening skill had already reached the expert level. The alloy plates could serve as both training equipment for his hardening skill, and also as food for 11. He could now digest metal food. So, Shi Yu hadn't just bought training equipment, he'd essentially bought food for 11 too. What a bargain. With the help of Shi Yu's skill book, the green silkworm had completed its 4th evolutionary awakening. At awakening level 4, its silk-spitting skill has also hit the proficient stage. The silk it shoots out is now as tough as a fishing line. Between 11 and the green silkworm, Shi Yu is feeling pretty certain that becoming a professional beast tamer is in the bag. These past few days, Shi Yu has been relying entirely on potions just to keep himself going. Without those spirit-condensing pills, there's no way he could have 11 and the green silkworm train together every single day. He can feel the exhaustion after using the skill tome, but after a bit of regulation, his body starts to recover. The energy drain from using the skill tome is pretty much the same as the drain from an intense workout. 2 weeks later, 11's hardening skill levels up from proficient to expert, and its growth stage hits awakening level 5. At this point, 11's hardening skill can now be applied to its entire body on the move. To put it simply, it can control its hardening ability at will, covering any part it wants. At the same time, the green silkworm's silk spitting skill also reaches the expert level, with its growth stage hitting level 4. Shi Yu looks at 11, completely satisfied, and says, "It's time to test our results. 11, take the afternoon off from training, get some rest, and eat a big lunch. After that, we're going into a real battle." The moment 11 hears the words, real battle, it gets absolutely fired up. For a pet, there are only 3 ways to grow: food, training, and combat. Absorbing nutrients from food to power their development is the easiest way. Training is a bit tougher because it requires constant self-discipline. Combat is the most dangerous, but the rewards you get are way beyond what basic training can offer. For Shi Yu and 11, they're not looking for a life or death struggle right now. All they need is a fair beast tamer match, organized in an official venue with clear rules. Shi Yu wouldn't be caught dead going into one of those do-or-die fights. He's got a skill tome, why not just play it safe and grow steadily? Shi Yu walks up to a signpost. In every city, developing beast tamers is a huge priority. So, there are tons of beast tamer arenas. After checking the map, he feels a slight urge to head to the wilderness. Fighting powerful wild creatures would be great, but that's also pretty dangerous. My 11 isn't high level enough yet. I can't be reckless, he thinks. As far as Shi Yu knows, the professional beast tamer exam includes a wilderness survival test on top of the basic and practical exams. He can complete the wilderness combat portion whenever he wants. Besides, he's still pretty weak himself. There's no need to take that kind of risk yet. If he really wanted to experience wild combat, he could just join a wilderness training session organized by the Beast Tamer Association. Having a professional there would be much safer. The bus keeps moving, and finally, Shi Yu arrives at his destination for the day, the Beast Dueling Arena. As Shi Yu walks in, the receptionist greets him with a smile. "Hello, how can I help you?" Shi Yu says, "I'd like to participate in a match, but this is my first time here. Can you give me a quick rundown?" The receptionist smiles and explains, "Our arena hosts battles for pets below the transcendent level. Here, you can choose either a scheduled match or a random match. A scheduled match means you arrange and choose your opponent in advance. We only provide the arena, a referee, and medical services. For a random match, you'll need to fill out some basic information. Then we'll randomly match you with an opponent and provide all the other services." Random matchmaking is divided into 2 groups based on the Beast Tamer's pet levels. The under level 6 group and the level 7 to 10 group will randomly select an opponent for you with a pet in the same level range. Regardless of the format, the fee to use the arena for one match is 100 yuan per person. Hearing the 100 yuan price tag, Shi Yu felt a sting. 100 yuan for one match? That felt way too expensive. 100 yuan was enough to feed him for 3 days. But then he considered the arena maintenance, referee fees, and even the cost of healing, and the price seemed reasonable. If an arena like this wasn't officially sponsored, the price would probably be even higher. The receptionist seemed to remember something and pointed to an advertisement on the side. "Oh, that's right. We also have wager battles. Contestants can place a bet before the match. The loser pays the arena fees for both sides. That means the loser pays 200 yuan, while the winner gets to battle for free." Hearing this, Shi Yu didn't hesitate for a second and chose the random wager match in the under level 6 category. His reasoning? 11 was only at growth level 5, but its hardening skill was at the expert level, and it even had that ridiculously broken rapid healing skill. Even he could only accept his loss. The attendant handed him a form and told him to fill it out. After filling it out, Shi Yu handed the form back and asked, "Excuse me, for these betting duels, can we add extra side bets?" Since he was already betting, he figured he might as well go big. "What's the harm?" The receptionist replied, "I'm sorry, that's beyond our scope of service." Shi Yu sighed. Welp, another money-making opportunity lost. After the receptionist entered Shi Yu's information into the computer, she gave him a card. Next, you can wait in the main hall. Once an opponent is matched for you, your name and duel room number will appear on the large screen. Shi Yu nodded, then walked over to the waiting area in the main hall. At that moment, a young man in a blue uniform and blue glasses was also registering at the front desk. He also registered for a random betting duel. This guy was no pushover. It was just that his classmates were too weak. They couldn't give him a real challenge, so he had to come alone to this battle arena, which had no age limit, only a level restriction. After filling out his information, all he hoped for was some trainee beast tamer to show up for him to school. Even so, Chen Kai felt that as an outstanding student, it would be pretty damn hard for him to lose. He was that confident in his own strength. Losing? Impossible. In the main hall, Shi Yu held the card in his hand, his eyes glued to the projection screen. Very quickly, the announcer called his name, and at the same time, Chen Kai's name was also called. Both of them were assigned to Battle Arena number 11. Shi Yu headed to the entrance of Arena number 11. Number 11. He felt a little lucky. With Panda 11 in Arena 11, you could say this was a home court advantage. Shi Yu noticed his opponent walking over with him. They looked at each other, silently sizing one another up. Soon, with the referee waiting, Shi Yu and Chen Kai arrived at the arena. The referee introduced himself as the manager and ref for Arena 11. By Shi. In a moment, you'll have temporary use of Arena number 11. The usage time is 1 hour. Once you're both ready, you can begin at any time. I will be in charge of officiating the match. The two looked at each other and said in unison, I can start any time. The referee nodded and said, then let's begin. After the referee's words, Shi Yu's face began to light up with excitement. The beast taming space opened. Following Shi Yu's summons, a large circle appeared behind him. Through it, you could get a glimpse of 11's habitat. It was a lush, green bamboo forest, and you could tell Shi Yu had put a lot of effort into it. 11 stepped out from within. Quickly, it stood beside Shi Yu, its sharp eyes staring straight ahead. An Iron Eater beast, metal attribute, with a mid-tier transcendent talent. It has awakened 5 skills, with hardening at expert level and rapid healing at novice level. On the opposite side, a similar ripple appeared behind Chen Kai, a beast taming space summoning. Behind him, an image of a pangolin that could pierce mountains appeared. You could also see its environment through the portal. It was a world of ice. An all-blue ice armor beast stepped out. Ice armor beast, ice attribute, mid-tier transcendent talent, growth stage. It has awakened 6 skills, with ice armor at proficient level and ice claws at proficient level. The ice armor beast had a cone-shaped mouth, with small, sparkling eyes. Its 4 limbs were short and thick. Right then, the big screen was showing Shi Yu and Chen Kai. Outside the arena, a brown-haired girl said to her best friend beside her, Yue, look. Over there, it's a rookie match. And it hasn't even started yet. The girl with the pink ponytail glanced over, recognizing one of the combatants as Chen Kai. Her voice was a little quiet, probably because she was too far away to be sure. The brown-haired girl asked, you know someone over there? Yeah, I think I see someone in our school uniform. After Zhuang Yue got a clear look at his face, she confirmed it was her classmate. His skills are seriously impressive. Her best friend asked, so, between you and him, who's better? Zhuang Yue sighed. I can't compare. There are barely any students in the entire grade better than him. His ice armor beast is already at level 6. Plus, it has its species ice claw skill, and its ice armor is already at a proficient level. Her friend asked again. So, do you know his opponent? His pet is just like yours, an Iron Eater beast. Zhuang Yue said, I don't know him, but based on my experience raising an Iron Eater beast, that one isn't even level 6 yet. I'm afraid it's gonna lose, unless its hardening skill is at the proficient level. Otherwise, it'll be tough to break through the ice armor. But Iron Eater beasts are naturally lazy. At this level, its hardening skill is, at best, only at the novice level. She knew all too well just how lazy Iron Eater beasts could be. If she had another chance, she definitely wouldn't have chosen it just for its cute looks. Because this type of pet is just way too lazy. Training it is incredibly difficult. Zhuang Yue continued, and even if it reached the proficient level, it's not a guaranteed win against the ice armor beast. After all, that guy's ice armor beast already has both of its species skills down pat. It had reached the proficient level. Even though an adult iron-eating beast is stronger than an adult ice armor beast overall, that's only times after times they mature. This little iron-eating beast was just a cub. When the match started, Chen Kai ordered an immediate attack. Ice armor beast, ice claw. The ice armor beast exploded forward, its blue, icy body charging straight for 11. At the same time, its claws were coated in a thick layer of frost. The referee could tell this little ice armor beast's power was no joke. He praised it silently. Great explosive power, Excellent training, truly worthy of a student from a top school. The ice armor beast leaped into the air, raising its ice claw towards the iron-eating beast, its presence incredibly powerful. On the other side, Shi Yu gave his command. 11. Harden. The little panda's eyes had never been so focused. This wasn't just the little bear's first battle ever, it was also about his rice bowl. Because before the match, Shi Yu told him that if he lost, the 200 yuan entry fee would be deducted from his food budget. It quickly stabilized itself and unleashed Harden. Then, the ice armor beast's ice claw made contact with 11's fully hardened body. In just a split second, the ice armor beast's ice claw began to shatter as if it had hit something impossibly hard. Meanwhile, 11's body emitted a metallic sheen as if he were indestructible. Chen Kai saw that the ice claw hadn't left a single scratch on his opponent. He was completely shocked. At that moment, Shi Yu ordered 11 to counterattack. The panda locked eyes with his opponent and, in a flash, leaped into the air, already gathering the energy from Harden into his paws. Chen Kai's expression changed. Ice armor beast, use ice armor, quick. After receiving its master's command, ice energy erupted all over the ice armor beast's body. Then, those ice elements began to solidify on its body's surface. Finally, 2 ice shields appeared on its arms. The ice armor beast raised its ice shields. Just then, 11's steel punch arrived. 11's fist slammed hard into the ice shield. The shield began to crack before the ice armor beast's disbelieving eyes. The ice armor shattered. With his sheer power, 11 sent the ice armor beast flying. Seeing this, Shi Yu was very satisfied with 11's performance. Looks like 11 had successfully protected his rice bowl. On the other side, Chen Kai's face was filled with disbelief. He had lost. For a moment, he couldn't accept reality and just stood there, stunned. As a beast tamer, he knew his ice armor beast had been knocked out by that single punch. This made no sense at all. The ice armor beast he had painstakingly trained without any mistakes. Lost just like that? He couldn't believe this was real. Shi Yu, meanwhile, was very pleased with 11's performance, because he'd always underestimated the proficient level Harden skill. In a real battle, a proficient level Harden was a bit more overpowered than he expected. Also, if he had known this earlier, he wouldn't have used the rice bowl motivation to fire up 11's fighting spirit. This way, the fight ended way too quickly, which wasn't part of his original plan. It was supposed to be an evenly matched battle. It seemed he'd need to find a much stronger opponent to properly test his strength. The referee was also stunned. How is it over already? What just happened? He looked at the iron-eating beast. Was this the power of a proficient level hardened skill, and it was mastered by a cub at the 5th level of the awakening stage? This power was truly formidable. Zhuang Yue looked at Shi Yu, completely shocked. She never expected Shi Yu could train a baby iron-eating beast's hardened skill to this level. Her best friend beside her said, "Hey, it looks like your schoolmate lost." Zhuang Yue turned her head away. "Sorry, I must have mistaken him for someone else. He's not my schoolmate." In Zhuang Yue's mind, Shi Yu was some kind of freak who could train a baby iron-eating beast to the proficient level. She guessed to herself, that panda's talent is just too insane. Could that beast tamer be a high-level master in disguise, training a new pet? If not, then he must be from a rich family. Wealthy beast tamers have access to high-grade supplements and special training methods. She glanced over at Chen Kai, hoping that the famous top student from her school could handle this blow. Chen Kai was treating his ice armor beast, his mind filled with doubt. Who in the world is my opponent? This little iron-eating beast and its tamer were on a completely different level from any opponent he had ever faced before. Noticing Chen Kai looking at him, 11 flashed him a smile and waved his little paws. This seemingly innocent gesture was like a painful dagger to Chen Kai's heart. He regretted everything. Clearly, school was the only place suitable for him. The outside world is just full of monsters. 11 was happy he had protected his rice bowl, and also because his own discipline had led to this victory. 11 grinned and said, "Has anyone here ever touched an alloy steel plate at 4 in the morning? Behind every winner is a story of blood, sweat, and tears." After the referee announced the winner, Shi Yu crouched down and patted 11's head. 11, you successfully defended your rice bowl. You worked hard today. You'll get an extra portion tonight. With that, he recalled 11 back to the beast taming space. Chen Kai then walked over to Shi Yu. He approached Shi Yu and asked, "Are you a beast tamer from Pingcheng City, a student, or what?" Although he couldn't stomach the loss, he preferred a clean defeat, which is why he came to ask Shi Yu directly. Model. Shi Yu just laughs and goes, "I'm a beast tamer from Pingcheng, just graduated this year, but I studied in Icefield City." And bro, hearing this, Chen Kai just freezes. Even the ref, Bai Shi, is completely stunned. See, Pingcheng is basically the suburbs of Icefield City, so the schools there are nowhere near as good. All the top students try to get into city schools for a better education. So even if this guy was a top student back home, compared to a city-trained beast tamer, Chen Kai finally understands why he got absolutely destroyed. But the power gap is still insane. He can only guess that even in the big city, Shi Yu must be one of the most cracked young beast tamers out there. There's always a bigger fish, he thinks. I've got to grind harder. Shi Yu says his goodbyes and starts to leave. Chen Kai just blankly nods, but then something clicks. Something's not right. He's like, wait a minute, I'm a senior this year too, and graduation is still a month away. How did Shi Yu times graduate? The ref, Bai Shi, explains it to him. The graduation date he's thinking of is for the combat major. Students in other majors like refereeing, medical care, or breeding do internships, so they graduate earlier. Chen Kai watches Shi Yu walk away, his mind completely blown. This dude, Shi Yu, isn't even a combat major. Bai Shi turns to Chen Kai. Hey man, you want to take your ice armor beast to the infirmary? Also, since this was a bet, you need to pay the venue fee for 2 people. His head is spinning, so he decides to hit the infirmary first. After all, the beast space only stabilizes injuries. It doesn't actually heal them. Besides, he already paid the 2 yuan, so he might as well use their medics. Meanwhile, Shi Yu is at the reception desk, looking shocked. Wait, I can't fight at my own level? The receptionist tells him, that's the rule. Beast tamers can only pick opponents based on their pet's growth stage. You can't challenge someone at the same level, because they probably don't want to fight someone weaker than them. Shi Yu just sighs. Did you not see my last fight? With the insane power boost his skill proficiency gives him, unless he's fighting level 7 to 10 beasts in the battle hall, finding a decent match is almost impossible. The receptionist suggests, or, if you know someone you want to fight, you can just rent a venue, which is painful for our introverted MC. The problem is, he has no one to fight. Bro literally got isekai'd here and doesn't know a single soul. Shi Yu gives up. Alright, I'll just check out the Beast Tamer Association then, thanks. He's finally realizing his training methods might not be normal. I mean, he literally makes 11 train by jumping off a building every single day. So, yeah, now that it's clicking, he decides to take 11 out to do some missions. After leaving the arena, he heads over to the Beast Tamer Association, which is basically the quest board hub. Beast Tamers can grab all sorts of missions here to earn rewards. These quests are handpicked by the association and designed specifically for trainee Beast Tamers. Basically, these missions are designed to train up different skills. The Pingcheng Association even organizes field training every 3 months for its local trainees. It's all about cultivating the local talent pool. Every city wants to produce more and stronger beast tamers, after all. So, these missions are all about building a solid foundation, but any quest below the transcendent level is just for training the beast tamer and their pet. The goal is to provide a cheap, low-effort training spot. Honestly, you could probably make more money having an Iron Eater beast haul bricks. But right now, finding a real combat opponent is way more important than making cash. And even if there are no battle quests, there might be other missions perfect for training 11. Shi Yu figures he can't just keep him cooped up training at home forever. Jumping off buildings every single day is gonna mess with his head eventually. Getting some real-world experience will be good for him. Plus, when he took 11 out to fight this time, Shi Yu could tell he was having a blast. So he checks out the first mission, Catch the Stray Cats. The description says a large, organized gang of stray cats has been causing trouble in the area. Shi Yu is dumbfounded. An organized gang of stray cats? I mean, he gets that some high-level creatures are smart enough to form a gang too, like steal seafood or raid a pet store for cat food. That makes sense. But this mission just isn't for him. Is he really gonna make 11 fight a dozen cats? Yeah, no, he moves on. First, Shi Yu checked out the description for a 1-star training quest. It required a wind-type pet, level 6, growth or higher. Shi Yu sighed. The rewards were insane, but too bad 11 couldn't fly. Next, Shi Yu scrolled through a list of quests so dense it made his head spin. He sighed again. There were tons of quests, but it seemed like none of them were a good fit for 11. These quests were basically just cheap temp jobs for people looking to hire beast tamers on a budget. For example, the quest to catch live locusts was posted by a restaurant. Locusts were paranormal creatures and agricultural pests, but they were even more popular on the dinner table. Compared to buying wind locusts directly from a farm, Getting them through quests on this platform was way more cost-effective. The only downside was probably the slower turnaround, but this clearly wasn't an urgent, timed quest. It was a long-term, continuous gig. Our guy thought these quests were a good fit, but 11 couldn't fly, making them a bit out of reach. Plus, the wind locust's racial skill was wind wings, making them fast and agile. In the middle of that last battle, even though 11 won pretty easily, when facing those high-speed ice-armored beasts, its only option was to go full-body defensive hardening. The moment it faced a fast and agile opponent, its reaction and processing speed would become a major weakness. Shi Yu started thinking, maybe the next skill he should line up was supervision, an Iron Eater beast's high burst power combined with supervision to pinpoint enemy attacks that would definitely give 11 a massive power boost. Shi Yu decided to save quests like catching live wind locusts for later, to train 11's reflexes after it learned supervision. For now, Shi Yu figured the one-star quest Mole Extermination was a better fit. Moles were also low-tier creatures in the pet world. Their racial skill was burrow, and they were experts at moving underground. In terms of combat power, an awakened mole was, at best, on par with a stray dog. In a one-on-one, you could probably handle them with a weapon. But the annoying thing about these creatures was that they bred super fast, had huge numbers, and were incredibly nimble. When in danger, they often coordinated in groups, so you couldn't judge their threat level by their normal growth stats. Luckily, unless they were cornered, they'd almost always choose to run from other creatures first. Otherwise, their impact would be way worse. Even so, this creature was worse than the wind locust, listed as one of the 4 major pests. There might not be many moles in the cities, but in some rural areas, their numbers were massive, hard to clear out, and a huge pain. The mole extermination quest was jointly issued by several towns under Pingcheng District, and it was also a long-term quest. Almost every day, beast tamers formed parties to wipe out these pests. Killing moles wasn't necessarily easier than catching live locusts. Looked like this could also be used to train 11's reaction speed. Finding moles and killing them before they burrowed underground. And wasn't that basically the game of whack a mole that Shi Yu played as a kid? Shi Yu decided it was a good idea to take 11 to grind its reaction speed for a few days. He'd pause the hardening training since the expert level was good enough for now. Shi Yu grabbed the mole extermination quest card and was about to turn in to register when he noticed the back of the person in front of him looked really familiar. As if he had a psychic connection, Chen Kai turned his head. Shi Yu smiled. Hey, what a coincidence. Is your ice-armored beast all recovered? Chen Kai looked at Shi Yu embarrassedly as he walked over. It's recovered. Shi Yu asked. You here for a quest too? Chen Kai nodded. You too? What quest are you planning to take? Right then, Chen Kai was dying to know what kind of training quest a pro like Shi Yu would take. It might give him some good ideas. Shi Yu replied, I'm taking the ground squirrel cleanup. Oh wait, no, I think it's mole extermination. Chen Kai was stunned. By yourself? Shi Yu said. Is there a problem? No, Chen Kai said. It's just that this quest is usually better to do in a team. Moles are really cunning, and working in a group makes it easier to wipe them out on a large scale. Chen Kai quickly asked, Hey, how about I team up with you? I'll take this quest too. Shi Yu was totally creeped out. What was wrong with this guy? He's not some hot girl. And besides, he had just totally wrecked the guy. Why was he being so proactive? Shi Yu said, 1 person or 2, it doesn't make a difference. Chen Kai said, I can call 2 more classmates to join. With crowd control, someone to pull aggro, and attackers, it'll be way more efficient. Shi Yu was speechless, thinking, asterisk bro, aren't we just going to hunt some moles? Why does this sound like we're prepping for a raid boss? Asterisk. Shi Yu thought for a moment. A few moles were no big deal, but if there were a lot, running into a whole swarm would actually be pretty tough. Teaming up seemed like a good option. He couldn't just play solo all the time like before. Shi Yu nodded. Alright, let's do the quest together then. Chen Kai suddenly moved closer, smiling. Awesome. Tonight I'm calling 2 more classmates. We're making a standard 4-person party. Right then, Chen Kai was thinking, I have to see for myself how this Shi Yu guy trains his pets. How the hell did he train a lazy Iron Eater to be so cracked? After Shi Yu left, he stopped by the Zhongcao Tong pharmacy on his way home. He was planning to stock up on some supplements, not because he was weak, but because he'd been training like crazy lately. The young pharmacist was a little surprised to see him. It was Shi Yu again. He'd been here 3 times in the past 2 weeks, and every single time he only bought supplements that worked like male stamina pills. This made the young pharmacist's mind race, speculating about Shi Yu's intense nightlife. He explained, Look, 11's training and battle load is insane, and I've had a weak constitution since I was a kid. What can I do? The young doctor pulled out a pack of mind-nourishing pills. Sir, here are the supplements you wanted. Shi Yu saw the pharmacist's cringy, knowing look and seriously wondered if he should just find a new pharmacy. If he didn't, his reputation was going to be ruined. After Shi Yu got home, he and 11 started eating. Once they were stuffed, Shi Yu looked at 11, his eyes gleaming. 11, get over here. It's time to teach you a new skill. 11 got his face squished as he looked up at his beast tamer. He thought to himself, what is my beast tamer planning now? He couldn't even bring himself to say his motto anymore. All my power comes from my own hard work. Shi Yu opened the skill book. The current status of the supervision skill was teachable. While teaching it, Shi Yu explained that the skill was called supervision, and it could be activated using mental power. Once activated, his vision would be massively boosted, maybe even letting him see perfectly in the dark. 11 rubbed his dark-circled panda eyes and stepped outside. The once pitch-black night was now unbelievably clear. 11 thought, a skill this insane? Night training is going to be way easier now. I'll pay back all my training debt from last time and this time in one single night. At the same time, after the skill was successfully taught, the cooldown on the skill book reset to 48 hours. Shi Yu figured he probably wouldn't recover his own energy until tomorrow morning. Right now, all Shi Yu wanted was for 11 to not go wild tonight so he could finally get some sleep. Looking at the hyped-up 11, Shi Yu thought, man, if only he'd use that energy to go catch some groundhogs for tomorrow's mission. Meanwhile, at Chen Kai's house, he was on his computer, posting a looking for group message in the class chat. Just then, a private message popped up. Zhuang Yue, I saw you at the battle square this afternoon. Chen Kai, who was drinking water, did a full-on spit take and frantically typed back, what did you see? Zhuang Yue, I saw everything I needed to see. Chen Kai was fuming, picturing his classmate Zhuang Yue's face in his mind. If she saw everything, he thought, doesn't that mean all the girls in class are going to find out? The entire class would know he got wrecked by some random dude. His lifelong reputation as a hero would be toast. Zhuang Yue typed again, do you know the beast tamer with the iron eater? Chen Kai, why? You want to ask him for tips on raising an iron eater? Zhuang Yue. Something like that. He left so fast yesterday, I couldn't keep up. Chen Kai, you're asking the right guy. We're going mole whacking. LFG, need 2 more. You in? Oh, and find another beast tamer with a pet that has a binding type skill. We've got enough DPS, we don't need more attackers. The next day at the Beast Tamer Association, Chen Kai asked a yawning Shi Yu, did you sleep okay last night? Shi Yu replied while trying to stay awake. Nah, didn't get much rest. But it's all good. He thought about it. Even though 11 was well-behaved and stayed quiet all night, the side effects of teaching a mid-tier skill were massive. He still hadn't recovered. Shi Yu then asked, so, where are the people you found? Chen Kai replied, looks like they're not here yet, but they should be here soon. A moment later, 2 girls walked over. It was Zhuang Yue and her friend, Yu Jingjing. Chen Kai introduced them to Shi Yu. Shi Yu, this is my classmate, Zhuang Yue. The other one is her friend, a beast tamer from the experimental high school, Yu Jingjing. Shi Yu managed a stiff smile. Hello, the 2 girls said in unison. Hello, oh great master. Now, this was awkward. Chen Kai whispered to Shi Yu. They both passed by the battlefield yesterday and saw our fight. Chen Kai quickly changed the subject. All right, everyone, let's introduce our situations. My pet is a level 6 ice armor beast, proficient with ice claw and ice armor. Zhuang Yu said, my pet is a level 6 iron eater, proficient in the basic hardening skill. Yu Jingjing said her pet was a level 6 fright leg monster, proficient in the wrap skill. Shi Yu then introduced himself. My pet is a level 5 iron eater, proficient in hardening at the expert level. The 3 of them, Chen Kai, Zhuang Yue, and Yu Jingjing, all had the exact same thought. Isn't that a wild exaggeration? Shi Yu saw their expressions and knew what they were thinking. They'll get it once they see how hard 11 grinds, he thought. Chen Kai said, let's go register the mission. Quick, we're heading out at 0800 at 8 a.m. sharp. The group got into their vehicle, ready to head to the countryside surrounding Pingcheng City. In the car, Chen Kai started to voice his doubts. Shi Yu, something's been bugging me since yesterday. You said you graduated, so don't tell me your major wasn't Beast Tamer combat? Zhuang Yue overheard this and thought to herself, how can he be this strong without majoring in Beast Tamer combat? Shi Yu calmly replied, nope, my major was breeding. All that fighting and killing is just crude. See? Breeding is the best path. In fact, it made perfect sense for a Beast Tamer from the breeding major to master the hardening skill. After getting out of the car, the four of them were quickly greeted by the other villagers. A villager stepped forward and handed them 4 sets of work clothes. Welcome to White Creek Village, mole exterminators. After changing, Shi Yu looked at the villagers and remarked how enthusiastic they were. But when they turned to face the endless fields and forests, they had no idea where to even begin. Shi Yu suggested, "Let's summon our pets first. In an environment this complex, we'll need to rely on Eleven's supervision to track down those moles." After Shi Yu finished speaking, the other 3 stared at him like he was a god, their eyes sparkling. A few seconds later, an ice armor beast and a thorn-foot monster appeared in front of Chen Kai and Yu Jingjing. 2 iron-eating beasts, one large and one small, also appeared before Shi Yu and Zhuang Yue, looking incredibly cute. The iron-eating beast glanced at little 11 next to it, its thoughts unreadable. Zhuang Yue took the initiative and walked over to Shi Yu. "God," she asked, "did you also get your iron-eating beast from the iron bamboo breeding base?" Zhuang Yue asked this because she could see how perfectly developed 11 was. He might be small, but that was just because he was still young. From his smooth fur to his sturdy build, 11 looked the picture of health. Shi Yu gave her a firm nod in response. Just then, something suddenly occurred to Zhuang Yue. "God, don't tell me you're a disciple from the Rock Bamboo Dojo, are you?" She felt it was the only thing that could explain why Shi Yu was so strong. Shi Yu shook his head. "I'm not." Zhuang Yue had asked because the iron bamboo breeding base was the primary facility for raising iron-eating beasts. Meanwhile, the Rock Bamboo Dojo was a special place dedicated to training beast tamers who had contracted with iron-eating beasts. The current master of the Rock Bamboo Dojo was a master-level beast tamer who specialized in training iron-eating beasts. His iron-eating beast had not only mastered the hardening skill, but also the powers of thunder and fire, thanks to his incredibly unique training methods. Not just in Icefield City, but if you asked any beast tamer who understood how to train iron-eating beasts the best, they would all point to the masters at the Rock Bamboo Dojo. Zhuang Yue sounded a little disappointed. "You're not? I really thought you were a direct disciple from the Rock Bamboo Dojo." Chen Kai added, "Among all the beast tamers in Pingcheng City, the strongest is definitely Master Lin. The professional rank is divided into beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Master Lin of the Rock Bamboo Dojo is an advanced-level beast tamer." Yu Jingjing added, "I don't know if Master Lin is the strongest, but his daughter seems to be the youngest professional beast tamer in Pingcheng City. I think she passed the professional assessment exam when she was just 18. After that, she attended one of the 9 famous universities. She's probably graduated by now, so who knows what level she's reached." Zhuang Yue continued, "Jingjing, you're out of the loop. Lin Xiuzu ended up majoring in breeding. She's back in Pingcheng City now. In fact, she's the one who picked out this iron-eating beast for me." Xiuzu said she chose that major to research whether iron-eating beasts can evolve again. "I don't know if she's succeeded, but I think it's a long shot. Master Lin has been training iron-eating beasts his whole life, but even he hasn't found a way for them to evolve further. Maybe this is as far as the iron-eating beast can go." Zhuang Yue glanced at her own beast. While they were all talking, her little guy had already curled up against the thorn-foot monster and started dozing off. 11, on the other hand, was on high alert, staring intently at something without even blinking. Shi Yu told the other 3, "Quiet down. I've found a mole." Following 11's gaze, they saw a reddish-brown mole in a corner of the field, secretly picking red fruits. Chen Kai said, "Judging by its size, it's probably level 4. Plus, it's alone, so it's not too dangerous. The tricky part is taking it down before it can react and escape." Yu Jingjing said, "The books say these moles are extremely alert. They're more sensitive to temperature than to sound or light. If the iron-eating beast and the ice armor beast get close, it might detect them from their body heat. Let's have the thorn-foot monster approach it disguised as a tree first, and see if it can wrap it up." Soon, the thorn-foot monster got close to the mole. It extended its thorns, aiming right for the creature. The moment the mole sensed danger, it immediately turned to flee. Once the thorn-foot monster startled it, it dropped all pretense of stealth. More thorns sprouted from its body as it lunged towards the mole, trying to restrict its movement and speed. Chen Kai yelled, "Where do you think you're going? You can't escape." The ice armor beast leaped in front of the mole, cutting off its escape route. It seemed like the fight was already over. Model. It was game over, but the mole leaped off the ice armor beast's head just as it was about to reach the cave entrance. But it was no use. A figure was standing tall, blocking the entrance. In the mole's shocked eyes, it finally saw who had arrived. It was 11. He yeeted the mole with a single kick, completely cutting off its escape. Facing the absolute unit that was 11, the mole gave up all hope of escaping. A moment later, the terror leg monster that was chasing it caught up and tied it down. 11 let out a snort, collapsing the mole's entire burrow. His innocent look basically screamed, "Oops, my bad." The three onlookers were stunned. What the hell was this thing? It was like he just dropped in like a freaking meteor. It's like, with him here, we could wipe out all the moles instantly. Yu Jingjing suggested. All right, this one's yours, Shi Yu. Without your Iron Eater beast, that mole would have totally escaped. The others had to agree. After all, they'd seen how cracked 11 was. Yu Jingjing sighed to herself. She'd totally underestimated the mole's reflexes. Her terror-leg monster was a natural-born hunter, but it still couldn't snag the mole on its own. Looks like I've still got a long way to go, she thought. Chen Kai and Zhuang Yue congratulated Shi Yu on his successful first catch. Shi Yu did some quick math. The reward for taking out one mole was only a little over 10 yuan. Even if they took out 100 moles a day, after factoring in 11's energy consumption and the cost of supplements, they'd barely break even. But then again, he didn't come here just to make money. Leveling up his supervision skill was the real priority. Shi Yu turned to the others. Okay, let's split up and follow the plan we made in the car. Chen Kai nodded. Okay, let's meet back here at noon. We'll clear this area way faster that way. This field and the surrounding forest are massive, after all. We'll split up for now. If you run into a lone mole, take care of it yourself. If you find a whole swarm of them, call for backup. We'll plan an attack together. It'll be way more efficient. Yu Jingjing proposed. Hey, let's make it a competition. See who can take out the most moles. Zhuang Yue immediately felt that was a bad idea. Given her Iron Eater beast's track record, she knew she'd come in dead last. She had a sneaking suspicion that her Iron Eater and Shi Yu's weren't even the same species. I mean, look at his. That thing is an absolute beast. All mine does is cuddle up to other people's pets and fall asleep. After the group split up, Shi Yu surveyed the fields in front of him. He set a small goal for 11, catch just 20 moles before noon. Hearing that, 11 was not happy and put on a dead serious face. He wanted to catch 200. Shi Yu glanced at the massive crater 11 had just made. Bro, you can catch as many as you want, but you can't destroy the farmer's crops. You hear me? Otherwise, not only will we not make any money, we'll end up owing them. We're not exactly rolling in cash, so it'll have to come out of your food budget. At that, 11's face paled. Shi Yu continued. We're skipping hardening training today. The main goal is to practice your reflexes. You should be able to catch these moles with your raw physical stats. No skills needed. Also, no matter how many you catch, all the money we earn will go towards extra food for you. Shi Yu looked at 11 and sighed to himself. I really gotta lay down the law with this guy. Now that even his steel punch leaves craters, these poor crops don't stand a chance. With that, 11 tore across the field like a maniac, his claws snatching every single mole he targeted. Shi Yu stayed behind with the farmer, who was keeping tally. The farmer told Shi Yu his Iron Eater beast's physique was insane. In all his decades, he'd never seen one so stacked. As 11 dashed through the fields, he seemed unsatisfied with his speed and called out to Shi Yu. Beast Tamer, why haven't you taught me the burrow skill? If I knew it, I could just grab them straight from underground. Shi Yu was speechless. Didn't you say you hated lazy skills that don't require any effort? So now you see why having a deep skill tree is a good thing, huh? But copying the burrow skill was a no-go, since the number of slots in his skill book was limited. From now on, he had to choose which skills to copy very carefully. The farmer keeping score called out, Hey kid, slow down a bit. My old bones can't keep up with you. You're a real freak of nature for an Iron Eater. Before long, it was noon, and the other three came running over, looking exhausted from their morning's work. Chen Kai was in disbelief. Holy crap, are you guys still going? It's been hours. Your Iron Eater has that much stamina? Shi Yu replied, this is just a light workout. For him, this is training. Besides eating, my Iron Eater just loves to train. Plus, this workout is nothing compared to what he's used to. Chen Kai's jaw dropped when he saw the farmer's logbook. Holy crap, 22-0. That's one mole every 5 minutes on average. Chen Kai lost his cool. Bro, didn't you say you were feeling off this morning? I get that your Iron Eater is a tireless beast, but how are you still so full of energy? Shi Yu pulled a clarity pill from his pocket. Want one? This stuff works wonders. The three of them were shook. This dude just pops a potion to restore his stamina. Using supplements? Damn, that's hardcore. Chen Kai finally felt a sense of relief. It seemed he finally understood where he lost to a beast tamer from the city. It's not about being better, it's about being more reckless. Bro, I totally lost. After downing the supplement, Shi Yu asked, "So, what's the score?" Chen Kai, 7. Yu Jingjing, 6. Zhuang Yue just got a headache. My Iron Eater is so dumb, it only caught 2. 11, who was busy catching moles, heard this, and was not happy. "Hey, don't lump all Iron Eaters together." The old man in charge of records walked over and patted 11's head. "Don't say that. This little guy has caught more moles than any Iron Eater I've ever seen. 22 moles in 2 hours. That's insane." Shi Yu came over. "Yo, stop standing around. Let's grab some lunch and take a break." The 5 of them sat at the edge of the farm, eating their boxed lunches. Out in the field, 11 was still grinding hard. Zhuang Yue asked Shi Yu, who was wolfing down his food, "Doesn't your Iron Eater ever need a break?" "That's just not scientific. Iron Eaters aren't supposed to be like that. I spent ages picking one out at the breeding center. So how come I couldn't find one as cracked as yours?" Shi Yu mumbled, his face buried in his food. "Well, how else do you think it got its hardening skill to proficient level?" The 3 of them were speechless. Made sense. A beast tamer who's always chugging supplements. An Iron Eater that skips its afternoon nap to just run drills. Neither of them were normal. Chen Kai was suddenly struck by a realization he finally understood why the pass rate for the professional beast tamer exam was so high in the city. "Are all you city-trained beast tamers this insane? And how the hell did you get your pet to be so disciplined?" Shi Yu said, It's not really like that." It seemed Shi Yu had unknowingly changed their whole perspective on beast tamers from the big cities. A misunderstanding, a total misunderstanding. He only carried supplements out of necessity. He didn't want to go this hard either. But that was just the insane cost of using the skill book. What choice did he have? And 11. That was a complete accident. The little guy had the hard-working trait from the start. It had nothing to do with him. 11 was the one everyone else passed over, and Shi Yu just happened to pick him. In the beginning, probably only Lin Shuzu, and he saw 11's huge potential. Lin Shuzu, because of her rich breeding experience, and him, simply because he had the skill book as a safety net, so he could have picked any Iron Eater and been fine. By sheer coincidence, Shi Yu and 11 formed this totally unscientific combo. That being said, Shi Yu couldn't really explain all this, and it's not like he could tell them to stop trying so hard, right? When Chen Kai heard him say, "It's not like that," he totally lost it. "What do you mean it's not like that? You have to be that crazy to have a future. Say no more. From now on, I'm making my ice-armored beast train at this intensity." Yu Jingjing stood up too. "Me too. Tomorrow, I'm hitting the pharmacy for a box of mind-calming pills and pulling an all-nighter to study." Chen Kai's eyes were filled with determination. He refused to believe he couldn't do it too. He had 2 arms and 2 legs, just like him. He had finally figured out the secret to Shi Yu's insane power. He had to try it for himself. Shi Yu had no idea what to say, so he just silently wished them luck in his heart. Chen Kai asked, "Shi Yu, are you planning to take the professional beast tamer assessment?" "Oh, right. Your major is breeding. Or are you aiming for the professional breeder certification?" Shi Yu thought that even though his major was breeding, he wanted to prep for the professional beast tamer exam first. Logically, Shi Yu was a breeding major, and he had the skill book. If he passed the professional breeder exam, he'd be absolutely rolling in cash later on. But this second talent of his was seriously weird. Shi Yu was afraid if he got exposed, he'd be captured and dissected. Even though the country was a society ruled by law, there was a clear class divide between high-level beast tamers and regular people. There wasn't a relatively fair path for advancement like the college entrance exams. You could tell the monopolies in this world were insane. Corporate monopolies, competition between factions and nations. Even beast tamers did shady stuff sometimes. Not to mention there were some super intelligent creatures eyeing human territory. He didn't want to lose his freedom before he could protect himself. Besides, if he wanted to get close to higher-level beasts to copy better skills, he still had to pass the professional beast tamer assessment first to level up his own combat power. Only by becoming a professional beast tamer and beefing up his own strength could he survive in this dangerous world. Chen Kai did the math. Looks like we might be able to go together next time. It was already July, and the next assessment was less than half a year away. Shi Yu's Iron Eater was currently at the 5th level of awakening, while Chen Kai's Ice-Armored Beast was at the 6th. That level wasn't even high enough to qualify for the first basic round of the professional beast tamer assessment. The minimum standard required a beast tamer's pet to have transcendent combat power, which was the level after awakening. Awakening level 10. Half a year later, their pets could barely even reach level M, let alone the transcendent rank. So Chen Kai just figured Shi Yu was like him, planning to take the assessment later. Shi Yu looked Chen Kai straight in the eye. If I don't pass the upcoming assessment, I'll see you at the one after that. With his tiny savings, if he didn't get another source of income, he wouldn't be able to support 11 for a year and a half. So, getting his professional license as soon as possible was also a way to ease his financial pressure. Chen Kai said slowly, "But isn't your Iron Eater beast only level 5, reaching the transcendent rank in half a year? Isn't that a bit insane?" Shi Yu thought for a moment. Hitting the transcendent rank might be tough, but getting to awakening level 10 should be no problem. Even if it doesn't reach the transcendent rank, it's not like an awakening level pet can't participate in the professional assessment. The strong always find their own way. Chen Kai asked, "You're talking about that special exam, right?" Zhuang Yue and Yu Jingjing thought of something at the same time. The level up challenge? Shi Yu said, "Yep, that's the one. The level up challenge. If I can't reach the transcendent rank, I can always take this route, right? Aren't pets with high proficiency and high-level skills supposed to clear those challenges easily?" Chen Kai finally got it. For an Iron Eater beast that had already mastered its expert-level race skills at just level 5, the level-up challenge was a total cakewalk. It was already punching way above its weight class. He kind of regretted asking so many questions now, feeling totally drained. He decided that once he got back, the Ice Armor Beast's training intensity was getting doubled. Just then, something unexpected happened. A voice suddenly blared from a radio. As the four of them wondered what the sound was, the farmer's expression tightened. He recognized it. "Attention all villagers. A code yellow monster alert has been issued for this area. A significant number of monsters have gathered outside the city walls, and their numbers are trending upwards. All units and personnel are required to prepare a response according to national defense protocols." Oh crap. Hearing the non-stop broadcast, Chen Kai couldn't help but let his feelings slip. Zhuang Yue's face was also pale with tension. The old man in charge of notes said frantically, "Kids, this is a special situation. How about you all head back for today?" Chen Kai asked worriedly, "What was that on the radio just now?" The old man said he wasn't sure either, but it was probably the beasts from the snow mountain acting up again. "A code yellow alert seems pretty serious. If the situation escalates, we might have to evacuate this place." At this point, Shi Yu realized there was no real need to panic yet. What was different from 10 years ago was that a massive wall had been built between Pingcheng District and the dozen or so towns below. The Beast Tamer Association's Beast Tamer Corps was stationed both inside and outside the wall. They were the first line of defense against the monster hordes. The so-called warning was just to give the residents of the surrounding towns a heads up. It didn't mean they were in any real danger. If there was a real risk of the city being breached, it wouldn't be a simple code yellow disaster alert. Chen Kai suggested, "Let's go check it out." Zhuang Yue shot back at him. "Check what out? The area inside and outside the walls must be on lockdown right now. If we go, won't we just be getting in the way?" Shi Yu spoke up. "Let's head back first. We can come back to clean the pens anytime. It's more important to go to the Beast Tamer Association and find out exactly what's going on with this monster alert. More importantly, Bingyuan City, Pingcheng District, Beast Tamer Association." They asked about the alert in Baishi Village. At the main hall, the receptionist said he wasn't too sure, but it seemed like this wasn't the first time this month. The last 2 times were code blue alerts. This time, it's code yellow. Suddenly, someone approached from a distance and called out to Chen Kai and Zhuang Yue. The voice from afar made Chen Kai and Zhuang Yue instinctively whip their heads around. "Teacher Zhang, why are you here?" Teacher Zhang replied, "I live nearby. I saw you two talking in the group chat, so I came to see what was up. Didn't expect to actually run into you guys." Shi Yu had a question pop into his head. "You guys actually talk in a group chat that has a teacher in it? You guys give your classmates no escape." The man called Teacher Zhang looked at Shi Yu and Yu Jingjing. "And who are these two?" Chen Kai said, "They're my friends, beast tamers from another school." Teacher Zhang smiled and nodded. "Are you all wondering about the monster alert?" Chen Kai replied, "Yes, sir. Is the situation serious this time? It's not going to be a repeat of what happened before, is it?" Teacher Zhang suggested. "It's too noisy in here. Let's go outside to talk." Everyone agreed. Instead of taking a mission, they started strolling around the blocks surrounding the Beast Tamer Association. Even though he didn't know Teacher Zhang, Shi Yu, who wanted to know what was going on, tagged along too. At the same time, he was calculating in his head that if things got really dangerous, he needed to be prepared to grab 11 and run to the inner city. This outer district really isn't safe at all. On the stone path, Teacher Zhang looked at the group of youngsters and said, "You all don't need to worry too much. Things are so different from 10 years ago. The defenses around the snow mountain are solid. And even if there's real danger, the Beast Tamer Association can respond in a flash. If the Pingcheng Association can't hold the line, the tamers in the city will jump in. And if the city's tamers aren't enough, the beast tamer legions from neighboring cities will be here for backup in no time. Right now, the creatures on this mountain are no threat to Icefield City anymore. Chen Kai asked, "So, teacher, you're saying a beast tide could actually happen again?" Teacher Zhang thought for a moment. For now, it's just a small-scale gathering of beasts, nothing like the insane outbreak from 10 years ago. Shi Yu's curiosity was piqued, so he asked Teacher Zhang, "So what's the deal then? Aren't all those monsters ice types? Shouldn't they prefer the snow mountain over the city?" The books say a lack of resources and crazy competition are the main reasons for a beast tide, but that can't be the whole story. Besides, beast tides, caused by that stuff, usually have a ton of warning signs. They don't just explode out of nowhere, like the one 10 years ago. Teacher Zhang nodded at Shi Yu. Exactly. But even we don't know the real reason why. The trigger for that beast tide 10 years ago is still a complete mystery. But there's a wild theory that the answer is right here in Icefield City. You guys know the history of this place? Everyone leaned in, their eyes wide with curiosity. Teacher Zhang just chuckled. Well, it's not exactly Time's official Time's history. For now, it's all just speculation based on some archaeological finds. See, there wasn't even a snow mountain environment around Icefield City to begin with. 2,000 years ago, this was the territory of a super advanced tribe of beast tamers from an ancient kingdom. But then, an ice dragon flew in from far away and made its lair in the surrounding mountains. This ice dragon was so OP that its mere presence basically kick-started a mini ice age, which made life a living hell for the beast tamer tribe. So, naturally, they decided they had to get rid of the dragon. They formed a subjugation squad and began a long, brutal war against the dragon in the mountains. They say that's how the snow mountain was even formed, Zhuang Yue asked. So who won? Teacher Zhang paused. It had to be the beast tamer tribe. There are ruins of an ice dragon seal up on the mountain. The story goes, the tamers from that era sealed the dragon's bones inside, and they're still there to this day. There are still occasional rumors about the dragon around the ruins, but after 2,000 years, everyone's pretty sure it's long dead. Now, one theory is that the sealed ice dragon became a spirit and is influencing the beasts on the snow mountain, causing them to lose their minds and attack the city for revenge. Chen Kai and the others got goosebumps, totally freaked out by Teacher Zhang's story. A dragon's ghost. This was the first time they had ever heard a story that wild. Teacher Zhang pointed to a massive stone giant statue not too far away. Up ahead? See that thing? That's one of the artifacts dug up by archaeologists. Legend has it that stone giants were the main fighting force of that tribe. Shi Yu's group all locked their eyes on the stone giant statue. Asterisk. Did that tribe really defeat an ice dragon with that? Asterisk. As he stared, Shi Yu's heart suddenly started pounding. A jolt went through his mind. His telepathy talent seemed to be activating on its own. He heard a strange voice. Asterisk. That's not what happened. Asterisk. The sudden voice sent a shock through Shi Yu's entire body. He whipped his head back towards the statue, his face turning pale. Asterisk. Don't tell me that voice came from this statue. Asterisk. This stone statue shows absolutely no signs of life. Isn't telepathy only supposed to work on living things? If there was anything weird about this statue, they wouldn't just leave it out here in the open. Seeing Shi Yu spaced out, Yu Jingjing tapped his shoulder. What's up? You okay? Shi Yu forced a laugh to hide his shock. Nothing, just thinking this stone giant is crazy detailed, haha. He glanced around and saw Teacher Zhang, Chen Kai, and the others acting totally normal, so he suppressed the shock rising in his gut. He was sure he heard a voice. The feeling was exactly the same as when he uses his telepathy. After scanning for the source, he confirmed it had to be coming from that stone statue. But no matter how he looked at it, this statue didn't seem like some kind of transcendent creature. It's just a normal stone statue that the ancients carved to look like a stone giant. Could it have come to life? No way. If it had evolved into a transcendent being, other beast tamers would have noticed it a long time ago. This place is pretty well known in the Beast Tamer Association. You'll find high-level tamers all over the place. Plus, a ton of them have the telepathy talent. A naturally born, transcendent creature wouldn't stand a chance of staying hidden. At that moment, Teacher Zhang said, "This statue has been here for at least a few years. All right, that's all for now. I've got to run. Don't worry yourselves too much about the beast horde. Even if the legendary ice dragon was revived, our beast tamers could take it on," Chen Kai replied. "Yes, sir. Thank you, Teacher Zhang." After the teacher left, Chen Kai turned and asked, "So, you want to go back and whack some moles?" Shi Yu answered, "Nah, I'm good. Maybe some other time. Besides, I just remembered I've got something to take care of." Chen Kai's group called out, "Is it urgent? At least grab a bite with us first. I'm in a real hurry." Chen Kai watched Shi Yu's back as he left. He was a bit disappointed because he hadn't managed to get Shi Yu's contact information yet. After leaving Chen Kai's group, Shi Yu headed to the library by himself to look up some information. He found out that the world's history is split into 3 major eras: the mythical era, the totem era, and the beast taming era. The mythical era was when the first generation of life forms was born, dominating the entire planet. The totem era marked the rise of humans, an age where powerful creatures fought over territory just to survive. And the beast taming era is when humankind finally started mastering the ability to control beasts. This beast taming era is further divided into ancient and modern periods. The turning point was over 100 years ago, when the 7 human-founded nations formed an alliance. The division of the 3 eras was pretty straightforward, but for some strange reason, there are a ton of gaps in this world's history. For example, why the first mythical creatures vanished all at once is a historical black hole that nobody understands. And what the hell happened to Icefield City 2,000 years ago? It's obvious that people still don't really understand their own history. Shi Yu couldn't find what he was looking for. Instead, he found even more records he needed to find. After going through these records, Shi Yu kept chanting to himself, "Don't get curious. Do not get curious." His old sickness was acting up again. See, in his past life, Shi Yu was an archeologist. Then, due to some special circumstances, he stumbled upon an unknown mythological system. His curiosity got the best of him, and he became a mythology scholar. He started traveling to all sorts of ancient ruins and sites, following his professor to explore this mysterious mythological system. It basically became his whole life. And then, he totally wiped out during an exploration. There was an accident, a landslide buried him alive, and next thing you know, he got isekai'd here. Curiosity really does kill the cat, Shi Yu thought back, remembering how obsessed he was with researching that unknown mythological system. He just wanted to facepalm. Couldn't he have just stayed home, played some games, and watched anime? Was that so hard? Why the hell did he have to go running off to all those dangerous places to do research? And now, he's been isekai'd into an even more dangerous world. All Shi Yu wants now is to stay in the safe zone, live a comfortable life, and just chill for the rest of his days. Even though this world's history is way more mysterious, with a real-deal mythological system, Shi Yu knows he absolutely can't go down the same road as his last life. No freaking way. Shi Yu stared at the stone statue in the moonlight and asked it a question. "Were you the one talking earlier today? Were you trying to debunk the official history?" It seemed to be contradicting what Teacher Zhang had said, but only Shi Yu could hear it. Shi Yu used telepathy to communicate with the stone statue. "Yo, Mr. Statue, say something." But, totally unlike during the day, the stone statue didn't answer him. "Not gonna talk? Fine, I'm out of here." The statue was still unresponsive. Shi Yu went quiet, thinking, was my mindset wrong? He tried to remember how he felt that afternoon when he looked at the statue. Back then, he'd just heard Teacher Zhang's history lesson and had gotten super curious about that specific period. That was because Teacher Zhang himself had said that part of history was all just speculation, nothing confirmed. At that moment, looking at the statue, his subconscious was just screaming to know what the real history was. Shi Yu stared hard at the statue. "Tell me," he pleaded. "Tell me, what price do I have to pay to know the truth of history?" Just then, his telepathy activated again. Trying to recreate that feeling from the afternoon felt like his brain was about to explode. Crack! Finally, Shi Yu felt himself being pulled in by the statue again. This time, it made a sound, but it was the sound of something breaking. Shi Yu was stunned. "Mr. Statue." Right before his eyes, a crack ran all the way down the statue from top to bottom. The crack started at its base and shot straight through. Shi Yu realized he'd done something horrible. He immediately turned tail and ran, swearing to himself as he fled, "If I ever mess with my old profession again, I swear I'm a dog. This old job is way too dangerous, even worse than fighting some ferocious beast." 11. My pet, come save me. Elsewhere, a huge explosion rocked the air. Inside a building, a few people started panicking. Did a beast tide just break into the city? Why wasn't there a warning? One person yelled. Hey, let's be positive. Maybe it was just an earthquake. But what in the world just happened? Meanwhile, at the high-rise headquarters, on the top floor of the Pingcheng Beast Tamer Association, a mysterious short-haired figure walked in. Chairman, what just happened? The associations in the other districts and cities also felt the anomalies. I've only ever heard of a situation like this, and I'm not even sure if my guess is right. But if the legends are true, this might not be a bad thing. The entire icefield city was shaking to varying degrees, and the Pfaft anomaly here was even spreading, reaching beyond Icefield City to the other cities as well. Meanwhile, the guy who caused all this was back home, totally paranoid. 11. Eat up. You gotta grow up fast. This world is brutal, bro. You need to get way stronger to protect us. The little Iron Eater cub just stared blankly as it devoured the pile of bamboo shoots. It had no clue what was going on, but it was rare to see Shi Yu being this generous. Being at home, Shi Yu was clueless about the situation outside, but he could hear the discussions of people on the street. They all felt this wasn't some simple incident. The commotion was just too massive to ignore. Shi Yu, you're really losing it. What were you even doing? Talking to a rock? Now there's a huge problem. And he has no idea what he's even done. He decided it was best to just lay low at home. Besides getting food and medicine, he wouldn't go anywhere. Just as Shi Yu made up his mind, a call came from the cage next to him. The green silkworm in the cage, having seen Shi Yu give the Iron Eater beast so much good food today, suddenly chirped that it was hungry. Shi Yu said, "You eat up too. Get nice and fat so you can spit out more energy." Shi Yu still hadn't recovered from the strain of using super sight yesterday, and now this whole new incident was happening. It completely drained him. He decided to get some sleep first and deal with it later. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow would be a brand new day full of hope. The next morning, Iron Eater beast, gold attribute, race grade, mid-tier transcendent, growth level, skills, expert hardening, entry-level rapid healing, entry-level super sight. For now, Shi Yu was pretty satisfied with 11's status panel. Out of the 6 skills he'd copied, he still hadn't taught deterrence or absolute sleep. Both were high-tier skills, so the cost was definitely going to be way higher. Shi Yu planned to wait a bit before dealing with those. The main goal now was to level up the skills he already had to make the most of his resources. He let the green silkworm out of its cage, much to its confusion, and gave it a new mission. Today, you're in charge of training with 11. Train hard, and you'll get extra food. Shi Yu divided the yard into 2 zones, with the green silkworm on one side and 11 on the other. After the green silkworm's silk spit ability reached the expert level, the silk could be used in a ton of ways, like shooting out silk threads. Although with its current power, it couldn't even pierce the cheap clothes Shi Yu bought from street vendors. Its speed was still insane. Under the green silkworm's assault, the silk threads zipped from one end of the yard to the other. Plus, judging by the green silkworm's level, it could keep firing threads continuously, like a dense rain of arrows. Shi Yu's setup was obviously meant to use the silk threads to train 11's super sight, whether it was dodging the fast, tiny, and hard-to-see threads, or predicting where the threads would land and preemptively using hardening on those precise spots. They were both excellent training methods. Seeing the 2 beasts get into the zone, Shi Yu gave an order. "All right, you 2, train hard. I'm going out to get some food." While he was out getting groceries, Shi Yu did some snooping about yesterday's situation. Although no one knew what really happened, he heard that the BEAST Tamer Association in Pingcheng was on total lockdown, having suspended a ton of operations. You couldn't even take groundhog hunting quests anymore. Shi Yu started to panic. He broke that stone statue in the park. They must have noticed it. They're not going to track it back to me, are they? He thought it over. There was no one there, and in this world, they wouldn't install a camera inside a statue's head, right? They probably couldn't trace it to him. But this was a world with superpowers. There could be some new, insane way to track suspects. Since he didn't know what was going on, turning himself in was out of the question. Continuing to play dumb was the safest bet. That day, the presidents of the Beast Tamer Associations from every district and county in the city arrived in the Pingcheng district. Somewhere in a valley in Pingcheng, a group of beastmasters stared at a spatial gate formed by cracks spreading from the sky, their faces filled with shock. "It's really a secret space," a white-haired old man said, turning his head. "You could also call it an ancient ruin." "Dr. Liu, what do you think?" Liu Qingyi replied. "I once tried to decipher the ruins of the ice dragon, but that was a total bust. We're still missing way too much info to piece together the real history of the ice plains. But now, this ruin has appeared. Maybe there's something inside that can give us more intel." "Oh, right. The ruins landed in Pingcheng City yesterday. Did anything else weird happen anywhere else?" The chairman of the Pingcheng Beast Tamer Association replies, "The ancient stone statue ruins in our association's park." Some images flashed into Liu Qingyi's mind. That giant rock? Liu Qingyi's face didn't change, but deep down, she already knew the answer. So it seems like this ruins dimension didn't just pop up by chance. Someone must have triggered a historical landmark. Is there some special psychic talent out there who can literally hear the voices of history? Who is it? This commotion in Pingcheng is no small thing. 4 days later, 11 had already mastered high-speed healing and supervision. His unbeatable combo moves were now at proficiency level, finally ready to go. Shi Yu was dying to see if 11, with just a level 5 awakening, could actually beat opponents several. But then again, finding a decent opponent is tough. He decided to just forget it for now and keep grinding. With that decided, Shi Yu left the house to buy more supplements nearby. Since he was a regular, the young pharmacists knew him on sight. Basically, Shi Yu didn't even have to open his mouth before they were already grabbing his usual order at the counter. Bro, the frequency you buy these at is honestly starting to scare me. Shi Yu took the supplements, thinking he should probably use them more sparingly. The young pharmacist nodded with a weird expression. I heard the other day at the pharmacy in the south of town, some student walked out with several boxes of supplements. That person's way crazier than you. Just as Shi Yu got the medicine, his hand suddenly trembled. Huh? Several boxes? That's ruthless. They also said the student's name is Chen Kai. The young pharmacist sighed. Students these days are way too ambitious. Shi Yu smiled, trying to dig for a little more info. Oh yeah, why was the association on lockdown a while back? Did they figure out what caused that massive noise in the sky? The young pharmacist let out a laugh and said, You've come to the right person. Let me tell you, though they haven't announced the specifics yet, there's a huge chance our city, Pingcheng, is about to blow up. Shi Yu leaned in closer. Bro, spill the details. The young pharmacist whispered. The intel suggests a secret realm has appeared. Have you ever seen a beast space left behind by an ancient beast master? Inside, it's a whole world of its own. There might even be royal-class beasts that have survived from ancient times in there. What is that, you ask? The young pharmacist said, I can explain it like this. It's an independent space, separate from our current reality. Like your own personal beast space, for example. In fact, that's also considered an independent space. The precursor to a secret realm is actually a beast space. Shi Yu asked like a curious kid, keep going, keep going. It's been almost a week, and we're finally getting some info on the rumors. You've waited long enough. The young pharmacist explained in detail to Shi Yu. Well, how do I put this? There's one theory. After our beasts die, their beast space usually collapses along with them. But some ridiculously powerful beasts, after they die, can preserve their beast space according to their master's will, forming an independent secret realm. You could also call it a miniature world. At that point, the secret realm no longer has restrictions on supernatural creatures. It's a completely independent space. Any living being can enter the environment inside. Now, depending on how powerful the Beastmaster was in their lifetime, it's still suitable for raising all kinds of pets. It's just a little weaker compared to a true beast space, but even a weaker version is still overflowing with energy, perfect for leveling up familiars. It's prime real estate for raising pets. After listening to the young pharmacist's lecture, he finally asked the question, a powerful Beastmaster's space. You mean like an ancient Beastmaster? The young pharmacist gave him a look of disgust. Did you learn nothing during your 9 years of mandatory education? Of course it's ancient. In our current ranking system, the weakest of them would have to be at least legendary tier. There's apprentice, professional, master, and legendary. Legendary is even higher than master. If it's really a secret realm, it's got to be filled with tons of rare resources or pets. Even if it's empty, it's still an incredible piece of land that can produce high-value resources for a long, long time. Now that this thing has appeared in our city, Pingcheng, we're the ones who'll benefit the most. If we develop it successfully, our economy could totally skyrocket. Shi Yu smacked his lips. So after all that talk, you're telling me there might still be monsters in there? The young pharmacist said, for now, there's no news on that, but you don't need to worry about things like that. Even if there are, the big shots will handle it. Shi Yu left feeling pretty relieved, because from what the pharmacist said, the cracked stone statue didn't seem like a bad thing after all. But me just talking to an ancient stone statue. How could that open up a secret realm? This has to be deeply connected to history. It's got to be in the lore, news about the true history of the Ice Age. But whatever it wasn't his problem. The moment he got home, Shi Yu started repenting. I'm so sorry, Mr. Statue. I know I promised you I'd uncover the truth of history, but with the way things are now, there's no way I can get into that hidden realm. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I even made you crack. Shi Yu's conscience was killing him. Exploring a hidden realm was impossible. It was way too dangerous. But he'd made a promise, and Shi Yu couldn't just go back on his word. He'd just have to wait until he was strong enough. If the chance was still there, he'd deal with it then. Just as he finished making excuses to soothe his guilt, he suddenly heard a knock on the door behind him. Knock, knock, delivery. A gift from the apartment complex. Shi Yu lit up. There was still good in the world. Knowing he was an orphan, they were even giving him gifts. After he asked who it was, the person outside heard no reply. She said to her colleague, "Looks like nobody's home. Get ready to break down the door." That sentence scared the absolute hell out of Shi Yu. Shi Yu frantically yelled back, wait a minute." He felt so wronged. The complex sends a gift, finds no one home, and decides to break the door down? Is this how you deliver a gift? 3 words flashed in his mind. I'm so busted. They'd most likely found out he was the one who talked to the statue and made it crack. Honestly, Shi Yu had already seen this coming. If the appearance of the hidden realm caused a huge stir, they would definitely investigate the cause. Even though there were no cameras out in the wilderness, finding one person in a world full of supernatural powers wasn't hard. Aura tracking, divination arts, looking back in time, beasts with these kinds of insane skills weren't rare. I hate this. Shi Yu hated his own damn curiosity. He opened the door. Finally, a clear, cold voice came from outside. Shi Yu froze. Outside wasn't what he expected, a bunch of suits from some government agency. Instead, there was just one person. And this person wasn't some cold, professional lady from a committee, but a beautiful young woman, probably only in her early 20s. He glanced down at the pet sitting beside her and immediately recognized it as a wind demon lion. Lu Qingyi looked up at Shi Yu. Let me introduce myself. Lu Qingyi, archaeology PhD from Ancient Capital University and a member of the Donghuang Archaeology Association. I'm here to investigate something, and I hope you'll cooperate. Looking at this girl, Shi Yu's head started to throb. An archaeology PhD from Ancient Capital University, one of the 9 top schools, no less. Besides being a little two-faced, why would a perfectly good girl like her walk down such a dead-end path? She could do literally anything else, so why pick the dead-end field of archaeology? Shi Yu also introduced himself. Shi Yu, freelancer, trainee, beast tamer. Please, come in. At that moment, 11 peeked out from behind a water jar, spying on the big wind demon lion. Then, their eyes returned to Shi Yu. I'll get straight to the point. The statue at the Pingcheng Beast Tamer Association. It cracking had something to do with you, right? I mean no harm. You don't need to worry. I just want to know. Did you hear the voice transmitted by the statue? Shi Yu shot back. You mean that statue was alive? Lu Qingyi replied, no, the statue is an inanimate object, but you possess the ability of telepathy. From what he knew, telepathy could only be used to communicate with living things, but there are always exceptions to the rule. Certain inanimate objects, imbued with the beliefs, will, and emotions of countless beings over the ages, can generate a ling. Ling is an ethereal concept, unrelated to life, spirit, or soul. The archaeology community calls them imprints of history. This kind of imprint can only be heard by a very small number of people with a natural gift for telepathy. That's why beast tamers, who have this telepathy talent, are called listeners of history in the world of archaeology. Shi Yu pointed to himself. Are you saying I'm one of those special talent guys? Lu Qingyi nodded. Being able to listen to the voice of history is an insanely powerful talent. Throughout the long river of time, history has been fractured many times. Countless truths have been buried, and ancient ruins are our main way of understanding the past. But these remaining ruins are always protected by supernatural forces. Finding and deciphering them is incredibly difficult. But people who can listen to the voice of history can find and decode crucial information from these relics way more easily than normal people. This time, because you touched the statue's ling, you caused an ancient ruin to surface. It might be connected to the true history of the Ice Age. Shi Yu had a really bad feeling about this. So, what is it you want from me? Lu Qingyi said, you have a great talent. You're a born archaeologist. I want to recruit you. Shi Yu's head immediately started pounding. A born archaeologist? No way. Absolutely not. There was no way in hell he was doing archaeology again in this life. He just wanted to make some money, raise a panda, find a cute girlfriend, get an adorable cat with her, and just live a happy life. Our guy was living the chill life in a safe city, so he shut her down. Hard. Sorry, I'm not into archaeology. Don't want to join some archaeology association, and I'm definitely not going to any archaeology school. Lu Qingyi asked skeptically. Who said I was inviting you to the archaeology association? Shi Yu is shocked. Wait, you're not? Lu Qingyi continues. A talent like yours would be a total waste in the archaeology association. Right now, in the entire country, there are only 11 known people who can hear the voice of history, and that's including you. That's rarer than legendary beastmasters, even rarer than the nation's mystical guardian creatures. Do you have any idea what that means? The organization I'm inviting you to is different. And don't be so quick to turn it down. You guys always say one thing but mean another. With a busted talent like that, you have to be into this stuff. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to hear the voice of history in the first place. After her speech, Lu Qingyi glances over at the Wind Devil Lion playing with 11. Shi Yu watches them, his resolve starting to crumble. People able to hear the voice of history. Pasa, in the entire history of the Donghuang nation, there have only ever been 11. Rarer than legendary beastmasters, rarer even than guardian deities. He couldn't believe it. He was basically a national treasure. But why the number 11? Seriously, me and that number have some kind of fate. If I'm really that rare, then in theory, the perks for joining this organization have got to be insane. All right, since you're asking so sincerely, I'll grace you with my time and hear you out. Shi Yu asks Lu Qingyi, so, what's this place you want me to join, and what are the benefits? Lu Qingyi gives him a sweet smile. Oh, the benefits are cracked. Even if you became a legendary tier beastmaster, you wouldn't get perks this good. Basically, once you're an official member, your status is even higher than a legendary beastmaster's. If you want to explore any ruins, you can get massive amounts of resources approved, no questions asked. You could even request a legendary beastmaster to act as your bodyguard. Shi Yu's mind started racing. The president of the Beastmaster Association in Icefield City was only a top-tier master, not even close to the legendary rank. Legendary tier is a whole other level. They command overlord-level creatures and usually hold top spots in first-tier cities. Is the place she's inviting me to really that OP? If so, joining doesn't sound like a bad deal at all. He could just ride the organization's coattails and skyrocket straight to the top. Shi Yu was seriously tempted. The perks she offered were just too good. Going from a jobless beastmaster drowning in debt to a legendary level big shot? Bro, the idea was wild. Shi Yu asks, if I join, what are the duties? Lu Qingyi just looks up at the sky. There's almost no formal structure. Everyone operates freely, and missions are completely optional. No one will force you to do anything. That being said, who with a god-tier talent like this could ever stand being idle? Whenever news of a legendary ruin surfaces, the ones who can listen to history are always the first to charge in, either assisting the exploration or leading the team themselves. After all, normal people can't awaken this kind of special ability. Shi Yu was floored. So, it's that chill? Meaning, as long as I don't get myself killed, I can join and never have to go on dangerous missions, right? And on the flip side, if I ever feel like tempting fate, I can request a ton of resources like bodyguards and intel, correct? Shi Yu was even more sold. So, what's the name of the organization? Lu Qingyi pulls out a badge. The National Land Ruins Strategic Investigation and Support Security Bureau. By designation, you can just call it Bureau 11. You can think of us as the special forces of the archaeology world. So it's a special department for handling all the important ruins. 11 again. Shi Yu was used to it by now. He could just ignore the name. After she finished, Shi Yu started thinking. The organization sounded seriously high level. So, should he join? I've asked so many questions. She came all the way here to recruit me, and I have this insane talent. If I don't join, dealing with the fallout might be a pain. Finally, Shi Yu takes a deep breath. All right then, I'm in. Dr. Lu, are you also a member of Bureau 11? Lu Qingyi nods. As of now, including you and me, Bureau 11 has exactly 11 members. Welcome aboard. So, as of today, you are a probationary member of Bureau 11. Hearing this, Shi Yu felt like he'd walked right into a trap. Probationary, all those insane perks you were talking about. Those were for official members, weren't they? The organization would only grant him 10 million in funding, expecting him to level up fast, at least to Master Beast Tamer, while completing the system's archaeology training. Hearing that, Shi Yu's eyes lit up. 10 million? When does that hit my account? You can count on me. I will dedicate my entire being to the noble cause of exploring our nation's ruins. The liaison said the paperwork and the money would arrive tomorrow, but for someone who can hear the voice of history, bro, there are only 11 people like you in the entire country. You gotta hide your identity. Don't let foreign intelligence find out. And here's the main quest. To become an official member, you have to uncover the true history of Pingcheng City. Shi Yu was hyped. As a guy born and raised in Pingcheng, digging up his hometown's secret history sounded pretty sweet. But that's not all he gets. The guy in charge says he can hook Shi Yu up with a gift. What do you want? The iron-eating beast's secret martial arts, the green silkworm's special evolution, or a high-level beast cub. Our guy gets shameless to get OP fast and contribute to the archaeology cause. Can I take all three? The handler was speechless. You can't even contract with a high-level beast yet. As for the iron-eating beast's skills, I can get you into the bamboo stone dojo. Shi Yu instantly agreed. Getting trained by a master beast tamer is way better than self-study. Now, about the green silkworm's evolution. It's a transforming type pet with insane adaptability. With different training methods, it can evolve into over a dozen different forms. Different evolution paths also lead to totally different abilities, especially the High Commander rank Goddess of Light Butterfly. The evolution is super difficult, but this thing is not only cracked at archery, it's also a master of illusions. Even stuff like its silk spinning proficiency and the ingredients you feed it are directly tied to the green silkworm's evolution. Faced with the green silkworm's limitless potential, Shi Yu was totally stoked. I have to raise my worm into the most OP pet ever. Alright, we're going for the Goddess of Light Butterfly evolution path. And yeah, the evolution requirements were insane. First, its silk spinning skill had to be expert level or higher. He also had to gather materials like a heart of light and sunflower petals to feed the green silkworm. Feed it the evolution materials, according to the recipe. Then let it cocoon for 30 days. If it awakens the rainbow light skill, it's guaranteed to break out and become a High Commander rank Goddess of Light Butterfly. Looking at the price tag for this evolution grind, Shi Yu's head started spinning. Hey worm, maybe you should just live a happy, peaceful life as a worm. After the Q&A, he finally saw his beautiful superior out the door. Shi Yu stopped overthinking it and suddenly remembered his 10 million yuan hadn't hit his account yet. I'm definitely going on a massive spending spree today. Right after seeing the agent off, Shi Yu immediately popped up at the Century Tower. 10 million arrives tomorrow, so today, I'm going all out. The salesperson gave him a knowing smile. This scanner can record data on thousands of beasts. It can even accurately measure the energy fluctuations of any beast below the transcendent level. It's only 99.98, and it's all yours. Shi Yu picked up the device to test it out, snapping a pic of a robot dog. The device instantly ID'd it, and the robot dog's complete stats appeared on screen. He was blown away by this high-tech gadget. With this, won't I basically be a top-tier beast tamer student? Shi Yu grit his teeth. 100,000. The clerk bagged it up. In the blink of an eye, he was at a beast supply store. He bought a massive amount of ironheart wood for 11. It's a type of wood that's packed with minerals. When an iron-eating beast eats it, it boosts the effectiveness of their hardening attribute and their overall vitality. Plus, 11 eats a ton and loves to run around, so buying the ironheart wood was a no-brainer. Finally, after blowing all his cash, Shi Yu headed home satisfied. But the second he logged into the Beast Tamer Association app, he got an emergency notification. The Pingcheng ruins have been activated. Aspiring explorers can now register for the assessment. Those who pass the assessment can enter the ruins. And the best part? Anything you find inside is yours to keep. Shi Yu's mind started racing. What if there's no valuable loot inside and it's just packed with monsters? That's not giving away treasure. That's recruiting cannon fodder. Just then, the national treasure and the little worm's stomachs started rumbling. Shi Yu, hungry. Food. The bear and the worm started clamoring for a feast. Hold on, I'm on it. Shi Yu transformed into a 3-star Michelin chef. After prepping some high-grade ingredients, plates of incredible food were laid out on the table. The human, the bear, and the worm completely demolished the entire spread. After they were stuffed, Shi Yu spoke to 11 and the green silkworm. Tomorrow, we're heading into the wild for some real-world training. Hearing this, 11 gave him a big thumbs up. It remembered the insane pressure from that Gale lion. That was its motivation to train harder. Seeing 11 so fired up, Shi Yu felt like a proud dad. That Gale lion was an overlord rank beast. The pressure it puts on young beasts is immense. A fully grown beast that reaches the monarch rank can even awaken the deterrence ability on its own, creating a sense of the sheer pressure it gives off could easily wipe out low-level mobs. But don't worry, our guy already copied its intimidation skill. Once 11 levels up, he'll have the aura of a monarch. Bro might even unlock some insane monarch tier special abilities. Thinking about this, Shi Yu was getting seriously hyped for this training trip. So the new plan is, 11 handles all the combat, and the green silkworm is on loot duty. The next morning, Lu Qingyi shows up with his official papers and 10 million bucks. And on top of that, Shi Yu gets even more good news. This time, he gets a direct pass into the Pingcheng ruins. You know what a trial-type ruin is? It's a pocket dimension made by an ancient beast tamer. It's designed to train up the new generation, so only low-level guys can even get in, and anyone who enters gets randomly teleported to some spot inside. You have to defeat clones of elemental creatures just to move to the next area. Hearing Lu Qingyi's explanation, Shi Yu's only question was, is it dangerous? She sighed and explained that these elemental creatures only defeat outsiders. They don't actually kill them, unless the challenger is a total noob. After saying that, she pulls up a QR code on her phone. This has all the data you'll need. Use it right, and you could become a pro-level beast tamer in no time. But first, make the Ping Cheng ruins your #1 priority. The other ruins are way too hard. I'm afraid you wouldn't make it out of those alive. As for the Icefield City ruins, it activated because of you. Since you're one of the few who can hear the voice of history, you need to level up your own survival skills first, then we can talk. After laying everything out, Lu Qingyi dipped, leaving behind the 10 million in funds and all the data without taking any credit. Shi Yu started scheming. Even though his status with Bureau 11 gets him a free pass into the ruins, he decides if he can't pass the regular assessment, he's not going. Survival first. But even saying that, the more he thinks about it, the more pumped he gets. After seeing her off, Shi Yu gives 11 and the green silkworm another pep talk. Alright team, our sugar mama is gone, so from now on, we've got to grind on our own. Just then, 11 lets out a roar and levels up. Seeing this, the proud pet dad breaks into a huge grin. He whips out a feast you gotta eat good to grind monsters for that sweet EXP. Shi Yu pulls out his 100,000 yuan phone for a scan. 1 bear, 1 worm. The Iron Eater beast is at awakening level 6, and the green silkworm is at level 4. Yeah, their levels are still low, but thanks to Shi Yu's completely cracked out taming methods, their skill proficiency is already way beyond what you'd expect at their level. They're basically smurfing. He wonders how they'll stack up in the official combat assessment. The next morning, Shi Yu heads to the association hall to sign up. The place is absolutely packed. Looks like the association holds this assessment to find high-potential, low-level tamers to send into a secret training realm. A little later, he's confirmed to be eligible. After registering, the day of the assessment finally arrives. The second Shi Yu walks in, he spots a familiar face. Shi Yu, I knew you'd be here. It's Chen Kai, looking so wrecked that Shi Yu jumps back and yells, Coast! After they chat for a bit, Chen Kai takes off. Just as his friend leaves, he notices a squad of well-trained soldiers. They've all got canine partners, keeping order at the event. He thinks, if Bureau 11 hadn't scouted him, he might have been one of them today. Suddenly, an officer blows a whistle. All right, everyone in the hall, quiet down. I'm Zhou Wanshan, the official in charge of this training assessment. Under my command are 4 professional beast tamers and a whole squad of powerful assistants who will be running this assessment. Mount Tianmang is packed with fierce beasts and valuable resources. This hunting guide lists the monsters and the points you get for hunting them or gathering resources. On top of that, we'll give you trackers so you can call for backup, keeping you guys safe. Over the next 3 days, only the 2 beast tamers with the highest scores will qualify to enter the secret realm. His underlings start flexing. Man, I wish I could go back to the trainee days. It's so lonely being OP. The chief shoots them a look. Less talk. Just do your jobs. Meanwhile, Shi Yu is digging into the hunting guide. Catching an earth rat gets you 20 points, but that's way too low. Our guy couldn't care less about that trash. But then he spots it. The level 10 awakened mad python. It's not recommended for hunting, and it's worth a whopping 4,000 points. If he can copy that python's madness's skill and give it to 11, then max it out. A berserker Iron Eater beast would be absolutely unstoppable. Then there's this level 10 awakened lichen slime, which is an invasive species. Its multiplication skill is insane. When it shrinks, it keeps its high speed and defense, but when it grows, it converts energy into massive power. That multiplication skill, it's practically a national treasure. I have to get my hands on it. Shi Yu closes the guide. All these high point targets, aren't they just a buffet set up just for me? At that moment, Zhou Wanshan, the guy in charge, speaks up again. Zhou Wanshan announces that the training exercise will begin in half an hour. Everyone has 30 minutes to stock up on food and medicine from the nearby shops. Unless it's a special situation, everyone is forbidden from leaving Tianmang Mountain for 3 days. Shi Yu buys a large quantity of insulated gloves, cursing under his breath. Man, if only I had a spatial inventory. Just then, Chen Kai shows up again, shouting, Shi Yu, wanna party up? At that moment, the person in charge, Zhou Wanshan, declares the start of the assessment. The entrance to the mountain is divided into 4 paths. He then enters the main control room and dispatches a large number of robot birds to focus surveillance on the 4,000-point pets. Shi Yu also releases 11 and Little Bug. The #1 priority right now is to defeat the electric slime. But to get to the Zishan area, they have to cross the wild boar forest. Shi Yu leads the group to hide in a patch of grass. He pulls out his phone and aims it at the wild boar's rear end, and the longhorned boar's attributes appear on the screen. Mid-tier transcendent longhorned boar. Earth attribute, with hardening and fang skills. Its fangs can inflict a hardening effect after biting an enemy. The longhorned boars here are not considered easy targets, but in the eyes of our guy, this boar is just a fresh, juicy meal. 11 wasn't hit by its fangs. Its attack was just a basic charge. After we beat it, we're having roast pork tonight. Shi Yu then hides behind a tree in the distance. 11's eyes widen as it activates its mid-level supervision skill. Facing the longhorned boar's sloppy attack, 11 turns into a flash of blue light, moving like lightning, and immediately after, the panda's paw begins to gather power, creating an intense energy shockwave. The shockwaves generated by the panda's paw break through the longhorned boar's defenses. From the bushes, Shi Yu reminds 11 to seize the opportunity. Spurred on by his overbearing dad's voice, 11 ends the battle with a simple missile headbutt. 350 points secured. Who knew defeating a longhorned boar would be so easy? But when this video was sent to the main control room, it shocked everyone there. A trainee beastmaster with a baby Iron Eater beast managed to punch way above his weight class and kill a longhorned boar. But that wasn't the only surprising thing. Shi Yu was now leading 11 to charge at 4 longhorned boars. Everyone in the main control room thought he was insane. Even a tier 1 pet wouldn't dare to challenge them so recklessly. But they had no idea that thanks to Shi Yu's ridiculously unscientific training, 11's hardening skill had already reached the proficient level. Facing a herd of boars attacking from all directions, 11 unleashes its proficient level hardening skill. The hardening attribute immediately covers its entire body. A single straight kick knocks a boar down. Seeing this, another one tries to sneak attack from behind, but its full power charge couldn't even break through 11's defense. 11 recovers and retaliates with a panda slap. Can you show a little respect for a national treasure? The remaining 2 boars had never seen such a ferocious Iron Eater beast. This was no baby Iron Eater beast. This was a boar-slaying assassin. They could only submit to the Iron Eater beast's power, desperately fleeing without looking back. 11's insane performance once again shattered the worldview of those in the control room. How is it possible to train a baby Iron Eater beast to have a proficient level hardening skill? But the surprises weren't over yet. Through the surveillance cameras, the people in the control room discovered that this rookie beastmaster not only contracted a powerful Iron Eater beast, but was also raising a green silkworm. From the looks of it, this worm's silk shooting skill is also at a high level, more than enough for it to evolve into a starwing butterfly. The staff chattered among themselves. With Shi Yu's talent, he could easily get into the top 3. 1,700 points went to Shi Yu. He finally decides to take a short break. He takes out a pre-prepared bento box, wanting to replenish 11's stamina. They have now passed through the wild boar forest and are approaching the safe zone up ahead. But a sudden, tragic scream interrupts his thoughts. A herd of longhorned boars suddenly appears, chasing 2 trainee beastmasters, and these 2 clowns are running like mad straight towards Shi Yu. But unexpectedly, the hunter became the prey. As the herd of boars approached, 1 man and 1 bear suddenly flashed a gentle smile. They drove away the fierce herd of boars with their aura alone. I guess the will to survive in these boars is pretty strong. Shi Yu casually saves the 2 trainee beastmasters, and then continues his journey with 11. They quickly arrive at the safe zone base. The moment he opened the door, Shi Yu caught everyone's attention. Where did this master come from? He managed to hunt 5 longhorned boars by himself. They didn't know that for Shi Yu, hunting even a level 10 ferocious beast would be as easy as flipping his hand. He racked up the points. His first public reveal puts him at the top of the cumulative leaderboard. Shi Yu's insane performance didn't just earn him praise from pro BEAST Tamers. Even the judges started looking at him in a new light. But they have no idea what level of power he'll unleash next. This news also reaches Master Lin at the Bamboo Stone Dojo. A new iron-eating beast with expert-level hardening has appeared on Mount Tianmeng, and it's estimated to be only 2 years old. After thinking it over, Master Lin broke out in a cold sweat. What's the beast tamer's name? His name is Shi Yu. It clicks instantly for Master Lin. That's Dr. Lu's distant relative. But the iron-eating beast Shi Yu is raising is barely a year old. On top of that, its training time is less than a month, so how could it possibly master an expert-level hardening skill so fast? But Master Lin quickly gets his emotions in check. He tells his disciple, "This is the junior who's coming to our dojo to give us some pointers. You're heading to the magnetic mountain zone to train." The disciple followed his master's orders and went to speak with Shi Yu. After revealing his identity, he told Shi Yu about 2 secret principles the bamboo stone dojo uses to train iron-eating beasts. They were the thunder palm and the cannon fist. But the iron-eating beast needs a special kind of nourishment to awaken its control over fire and lightning. For example, to master lightning, the iron-eating beast must eat electric-type metal ores. And the minimum requirement for eating those electric ores is that the beast's hardening skill must be at the proficient level. But Shi Yu's beast has already reached the expert level, making it totally capable of absorbing electricity. On this mountain, the most suitable place for them to train is the magnetic mountain zone. You feed the iron-eating beast electric-type ore, and its body withstands the constant assault of lightning. This is the basic training to master the Thunder Palm skill. Once a beast masters this skill, passing the professional beast tamer assessments is basically guaranteed. Shi Yu sorted through his thoughts, realizing this was essentially the first lesson from Dojo Master Lin. After resting in the safe zone, he said to his little worm, "Today, we're becoming gold miners and digging up some ore." In a flash, 1 man and 1 bear were speeding toward the magnetic mountain zone. Ignoring the danger warnings, they successfully crossed the suspension bridge into the magnetic mountain zone, but the magnetic field immediately began to affect their bodies. But for the sake of the electric ore and slimes, they couldn't back down. The 2 of them quickly came across a cluster of electric ore. 11. This is what's for dinner tonight. But his words earned him a scolding from the national treasure. "Bro, what the hell, that's a rock. Look, it's literally sparking. Is this even edible? If I get a stomach ache, it's gonna mess with my training." Ignoring 11's glare, his old man dad once again reassured him, "Don't worry, eating this electric ore requires proficient level hardening. You're already at the expert level, so digesting it is no problem." Facing the brightly sparking ore, 11 hesitantly reached out a paw, but the moment he touched it, a powerful electric current shot from his paw through his entire body. 11's eyes flew wide open. The shock from the current was so intense, he'd already figured out where he wanted to be buried. But in the end, he still broke off a chunk of the electric ore. Looking at the rock in his paw, 11 was still worried he might break a tooth. But then, he had a brilliant idea. Thinking about his dad who had worked so hard all day, he respectfully offered up the piece of electric ore. "Beast Tamer, sir, why don't you eat first?" Shi Yu was helpless. "Just eat it. Don't be afraid of getting sick. My rapid healing skill is already at the proficient level. Even if the electric current injures you, I can heal you myself." 11 finally opened his mouth wide and shoved the piece of ore in. With every bite, a loud crunching sound echoed. In an instant, he had swallowed the entire chunk. 11 actually revealed a pinkish smile. "This tastes a bit like shrimp crackers." 11 patted his belly in satisfaction, a spark flashing from his mouth. "Beast Tamer, I'm still not full. Is there more?" Seeing this, Shi Yu also broke into a satisfied smile. "Let's keep looking for more electric ore." 11 had activated his insane eating mode. Any place that had electric ore, he wouldn't let it go. According to the Bamboo Stone Dojo's teachings, after an iron-eating beast eats a large amount of electric ore, it will generate lightning and accumulate a certain lightning talent. During this process, the more it gets struck by lightning, the faster it will awaken its lightning talent. Thinking of this, Shi Yu's mind went into overdrive. If 11 ate fire ore or iron ore, he might be able to unlock entirely new attributes for the iron-eating beast. But right now, the most important thing was to focus on the lightning element. If hardening successfully combined with lightning-type skills, a certain magical index, 11, might just be born. A dual type with powerful long-range damage combined with a railgun skill. Just thinking about it was enough to get him hyped. Suddenly, Shi Yu encountered a swarm of electric scorpions. They were absorbing the electricity leaking from the ore. "Go! 11, you have to snag all that ore." The second Shi Yu gave the order, 11 shot forward like a bullet, and just like that, all the ore on this mountain belonged to 11. Everyone in the main control room was skeptical of Shi Yu's actions. What are these 2 doing? They're like tyrants taking over the whole mountain, invading the territory of thunder-type beasts. Also, why is this iron-eating beast eating electrostatic ore? Does he not even want the resource points anymore? But leader Zhou Wanshan shut down their doubts. "Now, that is one hell of a rookie. Judging by this footage, it's an iron-eating beast cub, but fighting a level 10 creature probably won't be an issue. They're likely aiming for the 4,000-point electric slime in this magnetic mountain area. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do next." Just as expected, the man and beast duo began their rampage through the magnetic mountain area, and they finally found the target of their training session. In a mountain cave, a level 10 awakened electric slime. But this level 10 slime had no chill and attacked before its opponent was even ready. In an instant, it unleashed a massive burst of lightning, and the fierce attack sent the man and the bear flying. But when the dust settled, they appeared completely unharmed. 11 was wearing the gloves Shi Yu had prepared before the fight. The wise old dad had given his instructions. 11, this electric slime is slow. Put on the gloves and grab it. Absolutely do not let go. Drain its electric core, just like you're fighting a game boss. As long as we make the slime run out of energy, we can take it down, even though it's a higher level. After that, 11 charged towards the electric slime. It skillfully dodged the electric bolts flying from all directions. Finally, 11 managed to get right in front of the slime. Its two paws grabbed the enemy with all their might. Seeing this from behind, Shi Yu shouted a reminder. 11, hold on tight and make it discharge continuously. The people in the control room couldn't believe it. This iron-eating beast cub and the electric slime were a whole 4 levels apart. You can challenge a higher-level opponent, like this? The colleagues nearby couldn't stop praising Shi Yu. Not only does he have insane talent, but he's also incredibly smart, giving his pet insulated gloves. The electric slime relies on electricity for offense and defense, but the iron-eating beast completely countered it. But leader Zhou Wanshan reminded them, it's not that simple. Don't underestimate the slime. And just as he predicted, the electric slime suddenly broke free from 11's grasp. It used its multiply skill, causing its body to grow countless times larger. But this was the exact moment Shi Yu had been waiting for. 11, now's your chance. Use full body hardening. In a flash, the iron-eating beast's entire body was covered by the hardening skill. It raised its bare arms, using all its strength to stop the electric slime from getting any bigger. But the slime's growth speed didn't slow down one bit, so 11 put even more force into its arms. The crackling sounds of electricity echoed. Suddenly, the electric slime was like a deflating balloon, shrinking non-stop in mid-air. Unbelievably, Shi Yu's plan had actually worked. The electric slime showed a pained expression. Clearly, 11's plan to drain its energy had worked, and the slime's body returned to its normal size. Although the people in the main control room had guessed the outcome, they were still completely shocked. Even though that electric slime used up a ton of energy, that iron-eating beast can't be in much better shape. Leader Zhou Wanshan also assessed that both sides must have taken heavy damage, but they had no idea that thanks to Shi Yu's copy skill, 11 had already acquired a healing-type skill. The high-speed healing ability activated, and a wave of jade-green energy swirled around 11. The iron-eating beast roared at the sky, and its health was instantly restored to full. The electric slime also got its act together, turned around, and launched another powerful lightning attack. But 11 pulled the same trick again, continuously closing in on the slime. This time, the slime got smarter. Before 11 could get close, it used its multiply skill, but 11's powered-up bear paws once again stopped the slime's action. For a moment, the two were locked in a stalemate. The people in the main control room also noticed how weird the iron-eating beast was. Normally, even a proficient level hardening shouldn't be able to defend against such a massive electrical discharge. Could it be that this iron-eating beast has powerful electrical insulation? Or was it because it ate the electrostatic ore earlier, making it completely immune to the slime's electricity? While everyone was buzzing with theories, in this stalemate, 11 was the one who held out until the end. The electric slime had been subdued. 11 hugged the slime and landed on its butt. Finally victorious, it broke into a satisfied smile. We did it. The Beastmaster, our wise old dad, rubbed his pet's head. You worked hard. 11. While the people in the main control room weren't paying attention, Shi Yu placed his hand on the electric slime's head, successfully copying 2 skills. Then the system announced, skill recorded. Multiply skill, high level, a special ability type, can be used to shrink or enlarge its body. In its shrunken state, its power is weaker, but its energy recovery is faster. While in its enlarged state, its power increases. The energy consumption also increases, but the all-purpose skill finally came through. The two not only successfully defeated the slime, but Shi Yu also managed to mess with the B-level creature. Watching Shi Yu's performance from the control room, Zhou Wanshan, the person in charge of this assessment, and his subordinate professional beast tamers all broke out in a cold sweat. Are they really rookies? In just one day, they've completely torn up the wild boar forest and the Zishan area. A monster. A true monster. In the mountain cave where the electric slime was hiding, there were tons of electrominerals. A few of these were more than enough for 11 to eat its fill. Of course, whatever it couldn't finish, he had to pack up and take with him. As for how to deal with this electric slime, a devious grin suddenly appeared on Shi Yu's face. I'll give you 2 electric minerals a day as food, but for everything you eat, you have to put out. From now on, we can use it as a living generator, a generator that can also train 11's electrical resistance a bit. A Thunder-type talent, plus a proficient-level rapid healing ability, would allow 11 to recover from lightning-inflicted wounds at the fastest possible speed. By then, 11 could train with electricity without any restraint. Staring at the terrifying human before it, the slime felt like a lamb that had stumbled into a tiger's den. I may not be a good person, but you are definitely not human. Shi Yu also came up with a new training method. He helped 11 tie up the slime. We'll set up camp here for the night, and after dinner, we'll start the new special training. Meanwhile, Yan Qi in the main control room was also stunned by Shi Yu's latest special training idea. He had only told Shi Yu to have the iron-eating beast eat electro minerals and then temper itself in lightning to enhance its thunder talent. He never expected this guy to actually defeat an electric slime and turn it into a living generator. Early the next morning, Shi Yu led 11 to catch all the electric slimes in the Zishan area. As long as they weren't fed too much, their power would always remain at a manageable level. 11 ate the electro minerals while tempering itself in the electric currents fired by the electric slimes. Under the stimulus of this dual electrotherapy, its thunder talent grew continuously. Suddenly, 11 clenched its fists, and in a flash, several bolts of lightning shot out from its hands. Even 11 itself couldn't believe it, holding up its own chubby little hands. The intermediate-level skill, Thunder Palm, had been mastered by 11 in just 2 days. Shi Yu carefully observed the electricity arcing from 11's hands. Damn, that's awesome, my boy. You mastered it so fast. No more training, let's hurry back to the safe zone and ask Yan Qi about this. The man and the bear returned to the safe zone, and as soon as they arrived, they ran into Yan Qi, who was on guard duty. Seeing them, Yan Qi broke into a cold sweat. Holy crap. He looked at 11 as if he'd seen a ghost. How is that possible? This isn't scientific. It's only been a day, and your iron-eating beast has already awakened its thunder talent? According to normal theory, just eating electric ores and getting zapped shouldn't make it this easy to awaken a thunder talent. Otherwise, the Bamboo Stone Dojo wouldn't have so few iron-eating beasts with the Thunder Palm skill. Yan Qi looked up at the sky and roared in frustration. Why is your iron-eating beast so damn different? Even though I saw it on camera, saw it constantly fighting, training, and eating ores, it still doesn't make any scientific sense. Shi Yu guessed the reason was probably because of the rapid healing ability, a wood-type skill. Rapid healing represents growth and vitality, which involves using one's own life force. In the later heaven Bagua, thunder is the Zhen trigram, and its element in the 5 phases is wood. The damage caused by the electrical training was healed by the wood-type healing skill. The two must have created some kind of miraculous reaction. That's what shortened the process for 11 to master Thunder Palm. Of course, it's not like I've ever trained my beasts scientifically anyway. Looking at the constant electric current on 11's hands, Yan Qi explained further. Although the power of 11's Thunder Palm looks weak, it has already reached the novice level. When its hands can withstand a stronger current, the condensed lightning will create a powerful numbing and stinging sensation. At that point, it can almost fully unleash the power of Thunder Palm. After hearing that, Shi Yu suddenly understood. He had thought he'd have to go to the dojo to copy the Thunder Palm skill. He never expected 11 to be able to comprehend it on its own. It seems there are certain connections between different skills. This wilderness assessment was totally worth it. The awakening of 11's Thunder Palm was also thanks to the green silkworm's help. On the last day of training, I have to treat the little worm to a great meal. And just like that, the family set off once again. Here on Tianmong Mountain, they would search for materials for the green silkworm's evolution. Unlike 11, who was designated as a battle pet and followed the standard pet archetypes, the goal is to battle, train, and level up its combat stats to make it OP. But for the green silkworm, Shi Yu isn't thinking of a normal combat pet. He's aiming for a rare and high-value evolution path, like the butterfly of light, which can control light, create illusions, and has a ton of utility. It could even be his personal bodyguard, or the legendary ice phoenix butterfly, which can jump from the lowest tier all the way up to a noble monarch rank species. And if Shi Yu's compatibility with the pet is high enough, they could even add some rare attributes, like space or time abilities, making them even more cracked. But the key to all this is skills and materials. He figures he can only get the super rare materials from Lu Qingyi. But the most critical thing right now is maxing out the green silkworm's silk shot skill. Shi Yu pulls out the hunting guide again. A level 1 spirit plant, rush grass, can increase the durability and sharpness of the silkworm's thread. So, using the guide, Shi Yu takes 11 to track down some rush grass. They find the spirit plant pretty quick. Our guy and his bear are hyped, but then a giant spider ambushes them from behind. In an instant, the massive spider uses a skill, shooting out a huge amount of web. 11 was just about to warn his beast tamer to be careful when he gets completely tangled in layers of web, totally trapped. A level 10 feral beast, the demon face wolf spider, was lying in wait by the rush grass for its prey. Shi Yu quickly tells 11 to use his hardening skill. Once its fur turns to steel, it can slice right through the webs. 11 activates full body hardening and instantly breaks free. This is also the perfect chance to test out the power of Thunder Palm. 11. Quick, use Thunder Palm. 11 powers up his right paw, and an intense electric current surges through it. But the Thunder Palm isn't strong enough, and 11 gets hit by a direct attack from the demon face wolf spider instead. Seeing 11 get pushed back, Shi Yu shouts another idea, find a chance to knock the spider out of the air. 11 doesn't get Shi Yu's strategy. Shi Yu explains, 11, when you get it airborne, you can use a combo skill of hardening and Thunder Palm. This is the perfect chance to try it out. 11 gets it instantly, his fighting spirit flaring. He charges forward, but the spider gives him no room to breathe. It spits out another web to trap 11, but this time, he activates his supervision skill. He dodges the web attack with a lean, and in a split second, he grabs the silk strand and winds it up like a rope. Then, yanking the web, 11 yeets the demon face wolf spider into the sky. Shi Yu yells, 11, now! 11 follows the order, keeping Thunder Palm active in both hands while using his body's momentum to start spinning. Finally, imagining himself as a cannonball, 11 quickly masters the technique. In his hardening state, spinning at high speed combined with Thunder Palm, he becomes a literal lightning tornado, shredding everything in his path. A massive boom echoes out, and Shi Yu knows a new combo skill was just born. But 11 still lacks a danger sense skill, something they'll need to work on in future training. After the fight, our man and his bear both give each other a thumbs up, followed by some bro-tier mutual hyping. They head back to the safe zone, and, no surprise, they're still solidly in first place. 4 level 10 beasts, 5 longhorn boars, and a whole pile of resources. Even though he used a few tricks to hunt the slimes, the fight against the demon face wolf spider proved their real power. Zhou Wanshun, the guy in charge of the assessment, is seriously impressed with Shi Yu. Most of the apprentice beast tamers at the Mount Tianmong training base have low-level pets. But this Shi Yu kid jumped 4 levels to hunt 4 level 10 beasts. He absolutely deserves first place. I wonder what kind of power he'll show in the upcoming ruin exploration. And with that, the Mount Tianmong assessment has officially concluded. Please descend the mountain in an orderly fashion with the staff. It's over. It's finally over. Oh my god, I've been eating fruit for 2 whole days. I'm gonna puke. I need a shower. I need a shower. If I don't wash up soon, I'm gonna die. Why do mosquitoes love me so much? It hasn't even been 3 days, and I have 49 mosquito bites all over me. This training was rough. Guess I'll use some of that $10 million prize money to treat myself. Should probably buy some health supplements too. I think there were 100 people who entered the mountain, but now there are only 73 left. No doubt the rest dropped out. They probably couldn't handle the wilderness environment, or maybe they got injured during training and had to quit the test. The fact that you're still standing here means you all have some potential. Mount Tianmong was just one environment. It's just an artificial trial. If you can't even handle this, then forget about exploring any ruins. And you can kiss your dreams of taking the professional exam goodbye. You're better off just going back home to raise pets. Alright, next, if any of you want to see your specific point rankings, you can check the results posted on that wall yourselves. With the competition over, everyone gathered around to hear the results being announced. Shi Yu walked over as well. The top 20 contestants would earn the right to explore the ruins in 1 week. In 1 week, we will lead you on an initial expedition into the ruins. For specific details, please pay attention to the association's announcements. This training trial is now concluded. After you've exchanged your accumulated points, you are all free to leave. First place, Shi Yu, Trainee Beast Tamer, 20,000 points. Second place, CA Trainee Beast Tamer, 9,413 points. Third place, Lu Mi, Trainee Beast Tamer, 5,354 points. Fourth place, Shi Chutao, Trainee Beast Tamer, 5,320 points. Fifth place, Zhang Tingying, Trainee Beast Tamer, 2,000 points. First place, Shi Yu, 20,000 points. Who the heck is Shi Yu? No idea. He's not a student from my school. He's not from our school either. It's just first place in some minor training trial. No big deal. I should hurry up and cash in my points to get my money back. After that, Shi Yu turned to leave. Just then, Chen Kai spotted him and yelled out, "Holy crap, it's Shi Yu." This made our guy bolt out of there. The other contestants immediately started grilling Chen Kai. 20,000 points? That's equivalent to 5 level 10 awakened beasts. How is it that I grind for a whole week and the gap between us just gets even wider? Who is this guy? He's a beast tamer from a top-tier school in the city. I took his suggestion and bought some spirit enlightenment ginseng to train my pet. And yeah, the dude is seriously good. No wonder your ice-armored beast had a breakthrough. After hearing that, the three of them had a realization. Spirit enlightenment ginseng, you say? Their eyes lit up as they begged Chen Kai, "Hook us up, man. Tell us more." At that moment, our boy Shi Yu had already reached the point exchange counter. The fatty raised his hand and called out, "Shi Yu, I'll be the one to exchange your points again." "Oh, right. I told Master Lin about your Iron Eater mastering Thunder Palm." "Oh? What did Dojo Master Lin say?" "Master Lin said you should swing by the dojo when you have time. He's got some nutritional supplements, specially formulated food, and even his personal insights on the Thunder Palm skill that he wants to give you." "Got it. Well, what else is there to say?" After exchanging his points, our guy left in a great mood. I can already picture Dojo Master Lin's face, completely questioning his life right now. Man, this disciple is probably too much for him to handle. This Dojo Master Lin Hongnian must be the father of that Panda Senior, right? I wonder if he has any other high-level skills for me to learn besides Thunder Palm. I mean, he's one of the best beast tamers in Pingcheng City, so he must have some exclusive secret techniques. But enough about that for now. Finally, I can return to human civilization. Thinking about it, our guy remembered warm showers and normal meals. Damn, and normal is all seafood here. My big bed, I've missed you for so long. The wilderness is no place for a human being. Once I get some money, I'm definitely getting a Mecha Life contract and multi-classing into a mechanist. It has to be something like a transformer, able to change for combat, and also transform into a plane or a car for transport. And it should also be able to transform into a house to live in. That way, I could live a modern lifestyle even when I'm out in the boonies, right? That night, at Shi Yu's house. If they're taking the people who passed this trial to the ruins in just 1 week, isn't that a bit rushed? Angel Shi Yu appeared. "Hey, let's just go a little later." Then Devil Shi Yu popped up. "You have to go. Don't hold back. Forget it." Lu Qingyi said, "These ruins aren't dangerous. They're a training type ruin. I'll just go take a look. I won't do anything reckless to get myself killed. It should be fine. But no matter what, I need to spend some resources first. This 10 million yuan, as long as I don't buy high-level evolution materials for the green silkworm. It'll last a long time and buy a ton of stuff. Yeah, for the happiness of the entire family, the green silkworm should probably just figure out its own evolution path. If I'm lucky, I might even find suitable evolution materials inside the ruins. It's all a reasonable investment. The Pingcheng City ruins have opened. Those who wish to explore the ruins can register for the Beast Tamer Association's Wilderness Combat Trial. Those who pass the trial will have the right to explore the ruins. Anything obtained within the ruins belongs to that individual. The website Lu Qingyi gave me isn't bad. You can tell at a glance that these supplements are prepared for beast tamers with combat-enhancing beast taming talents. Looking at the shop. Premium Mystic Realm Beans. 100,000. 100 grand for a single bottle. Seriously. You can tell just by looking that this isn't made from some trash-tier ingredients. Like this Spirit Awakening Jelly, for example. It's way too expensive. Good thing I'm loaded now. A plant-type transcendent creature. Baby Ginseng. Do I need this? Royal Jelly from the 100 Flowers Queen Bee, Toad Oil from the Dragon-Swallowing Toad Clan, and God Beans from the Mystic Realm's Divine Tree can help a beast tamer recover stamina and spirit in no time. 100 grand a pop. It resets your body to peak condition. The more he scrolled, the more Shi Yu's face twisted up. Why does all this stuff look so damn familiar? These supplements are weird, but incredibly familiar. Did the price go up again? These God Beans aren't bad, but even the lowest quality ones are 100 grand. A bit pricey for a single bean, but I can buy one first to see how effective it is. With this, I might actually be able to teach some high-level skills. Multiplication, absolute sleep, deterrence. I can pick one to start with and see how it goes. And just like that, he's blown over 1 million yuan. A tenth of his 10 million yuan prize money is just gone. But if I can use these supplements to teach 11 high-tier skills and grind out their proficiency at the same time, it's all worth it. Totally worth it. And these were the cheapest supplements too. After finally making his picks, Shi Yu felt a wave of exhaustion and just passed out. Loud snores filled the room. He was having a sweet dream about some cute girls when, bam, damn, this panda plays rough. Do you really have to kick me in the gut to wake me up? Get up, Beast Tamer. Wake up. You've been asleep for a whole day. Get up and make some food. Right now, 11 was absolutely furious. That training session must have really wiped him out. All right, I'll make you food. The green silkworm can get another lesson too. My stamina is full. I can't waste today. The next day, Shi Yu woke up, bursting with energy. Today, I'll take 11 to the bamboo stone dojo and maybe snag some iron bamboo while I'm there. 11's appetite has gotten insane lately. Just then, his phone rang. Huh? The supplements I ordered yesterday? Out for delivery already? That was fast. Wait, the delivery guy's GPS says he's already at my house? A voice called out from the distance. Preparing for landing. Customer below. Please be careful. Shi Yu looked up at the sky. It was a sky wing glider, a massive bird carrying a package. Your order has arrived. The delivery guy landed and took out the items for Shi Yu. Hello, here's your order. Please sign here. No way. You use a transcendent level creature for deliveries? Bro, are you a professional beast tamer? That's right. I just got my license this year. Please excuse me if my service isn't perfect. Holy crap. Is the bar for delivery drivers really this high in this world? The pay must be insane though. Well, all the resources from that site are high-end. The delivery guy thought to himself, looking at Shi Yu, this customer is just an apprentice beast tamer, right? So why is he buying so many top-tier supplements? Even a professional beast tamer wouldn't use this many. Whatever. Not my problem. There's no way he's already hit a wall at this level, is there? Before taking off, the delivery guy left him with one last message. Well then, have fun with your life. Shi Yu just waved back in thanks. After getting the package, Shi Yu opened the box to check out his haul. He pulled out a vial containing a green bean. This is the one. Hey, 11, get over here. Shi Yu looked back in the box. The teachable skill, multiplication, the king-like deterrent skill, and the absolute sleep skill that could boost training efficiency. I'll save those for later. For now, this multiplication skill seems way more interesting. Besides, with all these supplements, I've got 3 high-level skills. It doesn't matter which I learn first. In its enlarged state, 11's combat power gets a huge boost, and in its shrunken state, its stamina recovery speeds up. There's no downside to learning this first. With that, Shi Yu popped a bean in his mouth and placed his hand on 11's head. Skill illustration tome. Asterisk. Humph. So the beast tamer wants me to get a free lunch? Asterisk. Asterisk. I just learned Thunderpalm on my own. Now he wants to use some external catalyst to corrupt my mind. Asterisk. Asterisk. Seriously. Whatever. I'll just have to train twice as hard later. Asterisk. Skill tome used. Skill is now on cooldown. Skill taught. Cooldown. 168 hours. Skill taught. Cooldown. 24 hours. Skill taught. Cooldown. 8 hours. Skill taught. Cooldown. 48 hours. After teaching 11, Shi Yu looked at the cooldown timer and his face went pale. I thought the max cooldown was 72 hours. But this is more than double that? No way. I gotta eat a god bean, fast. Shi Yu immediately ate another bean and his body started to recover. Skill taught. Cooldown. 48 hours. Looks like high-level skills are my absolute teaching limit right now. Until my own body gets a major upgrade, I can't even think about touching super-tier skills, no matter how OP the supplements are. Man, what a life. He turned back to look at 11. It starts training, eyes shut tight, and then its whole body starts glowing. It gets this super smug look on its face. Shi Yu immediately asks, Yo, you mastered it already? All right, try getting bigger. 11 starts clenching its glutes, flexing hard, and its limbs begin to grow massive until its whole body is radiating with intense power. 11 is crazy confident now, thinking with this kind of strength, next time it sees those long-thorned boars, it can just one-punch them into oblivion. But not even a minute after sizing up, its stomach starts growling like crazy. Looks like getting bigger burns a ton of energy. Okay, try shrinking back down. 11 immediately follows the order and shrinks. So, the entry-level multiplication skill can double its size, and shrinking to half size is its limit. Looks like it still needs to grind its proficiency with the skill's effectiveness. But hey, it's still awesome for just learning it. Alright, time to eat. From now on, just eat in this form. It'll probably save a ton of food. The little guy's probably thinking, damn it, Beast Tamer, you play dirty. Shi Yu then picks up the skill. Book again. Teaching a skill has a 48-hour cooldown, and one senzu bean can cover 120 hours of the exhaustion period. If he used another one, could he instantly recover, or even feel better than his peak condition? The manual says you can indeed use a large number of them during the exhaustion state until you're fully recovered. For this lowest grade senzu bean, popping 2 or 3 at once probably isn't going to cause an overdose, right? Wait a sec, he thinks. The senzu bean's effect is way more potent than the 48-hour exhaustion period. Using it now would be a total waste, right? Seeing the $1,000 price tag, Shi Yu's face darkens. The manual doesn't say if you can break it in half to use it. If he uses it like this, isn't he just wasting tens of thousands of dollars? A single senzu bean costs 100,000, and a baby ginseng root must be at least 50,000 per piece. So maybe he should switch to a different supplement. No, even a baby ginseng root isn't a sure thing. Although, the queen bee has queen in her name. She isn't a monarch-level creature, just a commander tier being. This species grows by absorbing the nectar of various rare flowers. This so-called royal guzz jelly has many names, like king bee's honey or emperor bee's honey. Even in his past life, it was a top-tier supplement. And in this world, its restorative effects are even more insane. Skill teaching cooldown is down to 46 hours. Being rich is awesome. You really get what you pay for. Those mind god capsules from the pharmacy just use chemicals to forcibly restore your spirit. They don't even come close to slashing the cooldown time like a senzu bean. He can stop going to that pharmacy from now on and avoid the weird looks from the employees. Looks like of the 10 million prize money, the green silkworm didn't get much. The rest was all spent on these high-priced supplements. But he's probably the only beast tamer who can maximize the effects of these items to this insane degree. Next up, burn through the book's cooldown, then get to work on the book. Other skills. Shi Yu lifts up a strange package. More stuff? Did I buy this? On the package, it reads, "Looking forward to your next performance. This is the new battle suit I had custom made for you. Keep up the good work. Your mysterious fan." Shi Yu's eyes light up. I have a fan? We cut to the iron-eating bear breeding base. Has that Shi Yu kid shown up yet? The wilderness trial ended 2 days ago. According to Yan Qi, this Shi Yu's talent might be way higher than any of the students in the dojo. He thought he'd finally found a disciple he could go all out in teaching. But the kid learned Thunder Palm in just 1 day. What else is there left to teach him? As he's thinking, someone calls out, "Dad, I'm eating out for lunch at the Dragon Palace Fish Farm. Did you finish your daily training for today?" Hearing her father's question, Tu Zizhu just looks embarrassed. His daughter passed the professional Beast Tamer exam at 18, but ran off to study breeding. I also chose the evolutionary research department. She wants to research the evolution method for the iron-eating beast. At first, he didn't know what possessed him to agree to it. In the end, she failed at both. Her strength regressed, and her evolution path research yielded no results. Shi Yu. You know a guy named Shi Yu, right? I remember you mentioning him before. A super disciplined iron-eating beast was taken by someone named Shi Yu. Tu Zizhu had mentioned it to him before. It wasn't until Lu Qingyi told him that he investigated and realized it was the same person. It really is him. You still remember? What's up? Does he want to join our dojo? Nah, I was just asked to mentor him and guide his growth. By the way, after he left, do you know how that iron-eating beast of his has been developing? I'm not sure, but I told them if they had any problems, they could come to the Iron Bamboo breeding base to ask anytime. So, if our guy just didn't times show up, things would be normal, right? Pff, normal? Bro, this is anything but normal. That kid, Shi Yu, and his iron-eating beast entered the Beast Tamer Association's training trial a few days ago and got first place. No way. That beast just hit level 3 a month ago. At that level, it'd be lucky to beat a wild boar. I mean, I like the little guy, but rank 1? That's just insane. Who the hell levels up that fast? I find it hard to believe too, but he's coming over in a bit. We'll see for ourselves soon enough. Man, if these other guys were even half as good as the legendary Shi Yu, we'd be set. Beginner growth stage, expert level hardening, and he learned Thunder Palm. It's unbelievable. So, Dad, you're not going? This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to meet a prodigy. It's way more important than dinner. Who the hell is this Shi Yu and his beast? I seriously can't wait to meet them. Wait, Dad, are you standing up today? You're gonna defy Mom's orders? You're not scared of sleeping on the floor tonight? But I already told her you were coming. Where do you think you're going? Tell that Shi Yu kid to come this afternoon. I'm getting hungry. Later that afternoon, Shi Yu arrived. Anyone home? The door opened. The panda senior? Nope. It was the breeder, Lin Ju. Hey, we meet again. Yeah, follow me. My dad's waiting inside. When they got in, Lin Ju's father was already there. Have a seat. This Shi Yu guy looks totally different. But I still can't believe what Dad told me at lunch. How could his combat record be that insane? I practically raised 11 since he was a baby. I know exactly how strong he was a month ago. Dad said Shi Yu must have had some special encounter, but this is just broken. Dr. Lu already told me. If you decide to train at the Bamboo Stone Dojo, I'll pour everything I have into teaching you. But, from what I understand, when it comes to raising an iron-eating beast, there's actually very little I can teach you. The Thunder Palm and Cannon Fist manuals are basically the most valuable skill books our dojo has for an iron-eating beast. And while the nutritional supplements are expensive, they're not nearly as valuable as the skill manuals. Plus, there are plenty of alternatives. You're being too modest, Master. How about this? From now on, you'll have free use of all 3 of the dojo's training grounds. All the training equipment is yours to use as you please. As for resources to raise your iron-eating beast, the Bamboo Stone Dojo will provide everything. I assume Lin Zhu already gave you the basic handbook for raising an iron-eating beast? Later, I'll give you a more advanced guide to look over. And if you have any questions about raising it, you can come to me anytime. You won't have to follow the same training regimen as the other students. How does that sound? Dad, you don't even treat ME this well. Master Lin didn't reply, only thinking, of course, a genius deserves special treatment. At that moment, Shi Yu raised his teacup. Thank you, Master Lin. The terms you've offered are exactly what I was hoping for. All the food I can eat, a place to train, and complete freedom. Not to mention, I'll have a Grandmaster level beast tamer to consult with anytime. This deal is perfect. Looks like I can spend that whole 10 million on supplements now. 11's resource problem is solved. The only issue is his appetite is huge. I wonder if the dojo can even afford to feed him. It's manageable on a normal day, but I'm worried that once he gets a taste of the good stuff, he'll start eating twice as much. As for the green silkworm's food, I can find that stuff anywhere. Bureau 11, Reserve Member Certificate, number 0011. Looks like joining Bureau 11 was definitely the right call. Otherwise, I'd probably just be taking a break right now. Now, if I'm not mistaken, your iron-eating beast has already learned Thunder Palm, correct? And on top of that, its proficiency with the hardening skill has reached the expert level, hasn't it? That's right. Hearing them talk, Lin Ju started sweating bullets. What is going on? The more they talk, the more insane this all sounds. In that case, you should have your iron-eating beast focus on mastering the Thunder Palm skill first. The difficulty of learning Thunder Palm is a bit lower than Shattering Fist. Don't bite off more than you can chew. If you want to learn Shattering Fist, I recommend mastering Thunder Palm first. Seriously, don't try to learn too much at once. With all the skills my iron-eating beast has now, I'm already feeling a bit overwhelmed. As for Shattering Fist, forget it. A normal iron-eating beast might need a skill like that, but mine definitely doesn't. It already has Thunder Palm, which is similar enough. There's absolutely no need to learn another one. A fire-type Destruction Fist just to boost attack power? Nah, no point. Even if I wanted it, I'd have to wait for a way higher tier skill anyway. There's almost no info on the Thunder Palm skill out in the real world. Alright, I'm taking you to the training grounds. I'll break down the Thunder Palm skill for you there. But first, I'll introduce you to my other students. You're gonna have to deal with them at the dojo eventually, so you might as well. So, the 3 of them head to the training grounds. As for the dojo's training methods, Sis Zhu will show you the ropes from now on. On the way, Sis Zhu keeps glancing at Shi Yu, still not buying what she just heard. Is this Shi Yu guy really strong enough for my old man to be this generous? Ugh, if only my mom was here to back me up. I really gotta ask. Look, even though Yanqi told me about you, I still don't really get your whole deal. How about you throw down with one of my students here at the dojo? That way, I can get a better read on your situation. The moment she heard Shi Yu was gonna fight, Sis Zhu lit up and yelled, "Hell yeah! I was just waiting for my old man to say that. Let's go, fight, fight." Shi Yu, meanwhile, was feeling pretty confident. I'm invincible. The rest of you, do your worst. Looking at the training Iron Eater beasts, Master Lin continued. Normally, only the apprentice students stick around the dojo long-term for this kind of intense training. This is the basic training ground where students and their Iron Eater beasts work off their lunch. Bro, they just finished eating. Shouldn't it be nap time? Making them run right now is straight up torture. So this is how a normal Iron Eater beast acts. Man, if this was 11, he'd probably be complaining that he wasn't running enough. Iron Eater beasts are naturally lazy, but you can grind that out of them with regular daily training. If you don't, you're gonna have huge problems when a real fight breaks out. But 11 is super self-disciplined, right? Yeah, usually he won't even eat until he's finished his training quota. Otherwise, he feels too guilty to even enjoy his food. An Iron Eater beast like that actually exists? Hearing that, Sis Ju stared right at Shi Yu and said, "How is that even more unbelievable than what you pulled at the breeding base? What on earth did you do to 11 when you got back?" Hearing this, Shi Yu starts sweating bullets. It's a disgrace to get rewards you didn't work for. A beast tamer has already given him such great conditions. Even if he has to train to death, he must repay it with his own sweat and tears. After they warm up, they'll practice their hardening skill here. They split into pairs to train. Oh, so that's how it works. Since their hardening skills just cancel each other out, they don't need to train with gravity and steel plates like 11 does. I get it now. Their Iron Eater beasts are all basically level 8 to level 10. I'll pick the strongest one here to fight you. Does that even sound human? Talk about overestimating me. Master Lin spots a guy with purple hair and calls out, "Jiang Rui, get down here." "Master Lin, what's up? I brought a new guy for you all to rough up a bit." Jiang Rui perks up when he hears new guy. The other dudes start getting hyped. Yo, the senior's here too. Gotta train seriously today. What's the point of just trying? So you can get injured again? I want our senior to bandage my wounds. Pfft, you're so extra. All right, everyone. Pause your training for a minute. Let me introduce you. This is Shi Yu. He'll be training at the dojo from now on. Oh, so he's the new meat. A new guy is awesome. Now the dojo master will be yelling at him for not keeping up with the insane training intensity, instead of us. Hey everyone, name's Jiang Rui. If you have any problems, just find me. Jiang Rui, pause the training for a sec. I want you to fight Shi Yu. Jiang Rui, thinking he misheard, asked, "Me? Yes, you. And if you lose, you and your Iron Eater beast will have to do double the training." After hearing Master Lin's ultimatum, Jiang Rui's heart skipped a beat. He looks over at Shi Yu's clueless face and thinks, he's just a newbie. How could I possibly lose to him? You got it. Jiang Rui quickly agrees. The other students on the sidelines start gossiping. Oh, guess I don't get a chance to show off for the senior. Yeah, right. In your dreams. This is the master's test for the new guy, to show him the real power level of our dojo. There's no way it was going to be your turn. In front of Jiang Rui, an Iron Eater beast materializes. This thing is a fully grown adult, about 4'9", with rippling muscles. It's on a whole different level than 11. Jiang Rui speaks up, "Shi Yu, bring out your beast." All right. Shi Yu gives a slight nod and opens his beast taming space, and out pops 11. A cub? The students on the sidelines immediately start sizing up 11. His Iron Eater beast looks like it's only at awakening level 6. What a total rookie. Jiang Rui's Iron Eater beast is already a level 6 awakened, and it's even mastered adept level hardening. This should be an easy win, right? But the moment Shi Yu's Iron Eater beast steps out, Jiang Rui starts sweating bullets. Instructor Lin and Sis Truk are watching from the side, hyped for the battle ahead. Jiang Rui tells Shi Yu, "Yo, you can go first." But he's thinking to himself, yeah, I should probably let the new guy have the first move. If we're supposed to be testing his skills, I can't just go all out and one-shot his beast, right? Shi Yu doesn't mess around. He just says, 11, go. In the blink of an eye, 11 flashes forward, charging right at Jiang Rui's Iron Eater beast. Instructor Lin and Sis Truk, watching from the sidelines, are totally shocked by 11's insane speed and explosive power. Jiang Rui is a high-level trainer, so he's super confident in his own Iron Eater beast. He orders his beast to block. Sure, this little guy's got some explosive power, but at the end of the day, it's just a cub. Jiang Rui's beast doesn't even move, it just tanks the hit, using its full body hardening to block 11's punch head-on. Jiang Rui smirks, thinking, yeah, I've got total faith in the strength of my beast's hardening skill. But then Shi Yu just tells 11, you know what to do. And just like that, 11 switches from hardening to thunder palm. A massive surge of high-voltage electricity focuses into 11's paws, then slams right into Jiang Rui's beast. Seeing the thunder palm, Jiang Rui starts freaking out. How can a skill like that appear on an Iron Eater beast that isn't even transcendent level? His beast is still in its hardening stance. There's no time to cancel it and dodge the thunder palm. Thanks to 11's surprise attack, the beast takes the full force of the thunder palm and gets sent flying. Seeing the raw power of that thunder palm, even Instructor Lin and Sis Truk are stunned. It's really thunder palm. I can't believe a young, level 6 Iron Eater beast has already mastered thunder palm. That's insane. And what's more, it's a super powerful one too. Looks like after learning thunder palm, this little guy must have been grinding like crazy. It's not knocked out, But if Jiang Rui's beast had tried to tank that head-on, it would have been totally paralyzed. How is that even possible? This makes no sense. But the fight isn't over just yet. Jiang Rui's beast gets back on its feet, letting out a roar that scatters the remaining lightning sparks. Looks like the real battle is just getting started. Jiang Rui orders his beast, hardened claws. His beast lunges forward to attack. I can't lose this. I mean, it's fine to lose to a newbie, especially since he's already pulled out Thunder Palm. A newbie, my ass. If I actually lose, my beast won't survive the double training punishment. Back in the fight, 11 is facing down the other beast's incredibly powerful hardening attack. Just then, Shi Yu tells 11, don't dodge, just tank the hit and counter. Jiang Rui is like, bro, are you for real? Yep. This is the perfect chance to show off our hardening and Thunder Palm. We'll keep our other skills under wraps for now. Hearing that, 11 unleashes its own adept-level hardening to take the hit. The beast's claw slams into 11 and only leaves a tiny scratch. Jiang Rui can't believe his eyes. No way. Not only does it know Thunder Palm, but its mastery of the hardening skill is insanely high. Their hardening proficiency is actually way higher than ours. After tanking the first hit to show off its strength, 11 uses its small frame to duck under the second attack. Then, from below, it spots an opening. 11 immediately channels lightning into its fist and throws a massive uppercut, knocking the other beast out cold and sending it flying right at a horrified Jiang Rui. Shi Yu just gives a little bow and says, my bad. I went easy on you. Expert level hardening. Jiang Rui's face goes completely pale. What the hell? Is this seriously a young, level 6 awakened Iron Eater beast? Even the Iron Eater beasts raised by the upperclassmen who've already passed the pro exam are only about this strong. After losing to Shi Yu, Jiang Rui gets hit with double training duty from Instructor Lin. Looking at the two of them, Jiang Rui starts sweating again, thinking, a newbie? I've been played. Is this Shi Yu kid Instructor Lin's secret son or something? He's so OP, he's gotta be family. Jiang Rui, take your Iron Eater beast to get healed. The rest of you, get back to training. Shi Yu, you come with me. Sis Truk is also having a crisis, staring at 11 and thinking, is that really the same 11 I know? A few other students get curious and ask her, hey senpai, who is that guy? Before they can even finish the question, Sis Truk spins around, points right in their faces and yells, you guys get double training too. Man, talk about getting caught in the crossfire just for asking a question. Looking over at Shi Yu, the students all sigh, this dude isn't some bottom-tier newbie. He's obviously a top-tier ace sent here to light a fire under our lazy asses. Oh no. Then, Instructor Lin. He led Teacher Vu and Shi Yi down the hall. Shi Yi stared at Teacher Lin, wondering why this old guy looked so damn familiar. A moment later, Teacher Lin brought them to a private training room. Big Sis Ju suddenly called out, Shi Yi. As the female leader, in Shi Yi's eyes, Big Sis Ju was always rocking her panda uniform. Seeing her as one of his own kind, he happily ran over for a hug. Shi Yi, it's been a while. Big Sis Ju patted his head with one hand while hugging him close, sizing him up. It was still the same Shi Yi, but what the hell happened? How did he suddenly get so strong? Just then, Teacher Lin started praising him. You've raised this iron-eating beast of yours pretty damn well. He's the most outstanding one I've ever seen. Shi Yi pulled away from Big Sis Ju's hug and pointed to the sky, as if to say, of course I am. Looking at Teacher Lin, he was still confused. He was sure he'd seen this guy back at the breeding base, but he couldn't quite place him. Hearing the praise, Teacher Vu thanked Teacher Lin. Teacher Lin continued, long story short, you guys have an incredibly bright future. He then shook his head and sighed. It's just a shame there's not much I can teach you. Suddenly, Teacher Lin's gaze turned sharp. A blue summoning circle appeared beside him, a stream of energy connected to his beast. A phantom panda materialized, and from it emerged a 2-meter-tall, fully grown iron-eating beast. Judging by its aura, its eyes, and its powerful build, this was no lazy iron-eating beast. This was not some cute pet. It was clear Teacher Lin had trained it to overcome its lazy nature, turning it from a mere pet into a true battle beast. Next, I'll demonstrate the training path beyond hardening and Thunder Palm. You can use this as a reference. Instantly, both Teacher Vu and Shi Yi locked their eyes onto Teacher Lin's iron-eating beast. This was a true battle beast, Teacher Lin's iron-eating beast. Its entire body was crackling with intertwining arcs of high-intensity, blue-white lightning. Teacher Lin continued. The basic training manual should have clearly outlined the different milestones for hardening proficiency. As for Thunder Palm, your beast's proficiency is currently at the entry level. After it explodes on impact, the chaotic high-voltage current can paralyze an opponent. However, its piercing power is still lacking. Otherwise, you could have just punched right through the layers of hardening and defeated your opponent instantly. With that, Teacher Lin had his beast begin the demonstration. Teacher Lin's beast effortlessly controlled the high-voltage electricity, shaping the lightning into a blade visible to the naked eye. Teacher Lin's iron-eating beast took a deep breath and fired the lightning straight at a target, shattering it. The milestone for the Adept level Thunder Palm is its piercing, penetrating effect. At the Adept level, Thunder Palm can pierce and shatter even the hardest steel. Teacher Vu's jaw dropped seeing that move. Now, that's a real Thunder Palm. The little bit of power you've managed is nothing compared to this. Meanwhile, Shi Yu thought to himself, that's so badass. I gotta keep grinding. Teacher Lin then continued, now, for the expert level Thunder Palm. If I'm not mistaken, after your beast uses one Thunder Palm, it's pretty much out of juice, right? Teacher Lin glanced at his own iron-eating beast and continued, the milestone for the expert level is making Thunder Palm a casual, normal attack. Not only can you cover your hands in lightning like armor, but you can also use Thunder Palm with both hands at once. That is the sign of an expert level Thunder Palm. After that, you train it to the perfection level. At the perfection level of proficiency, you use the high voltage current of Thunder Palm to stimulate your entire body, creating an explosive burst of speed so fast the naked eye can't track it. After training Thunder Palm to the perfection level, the piercing power of the lightning combined with that insane speed allows you to slice through a real bolt of lightning. Hearing this, Teacher Vu thought, that sounds unbelievably OP. Shi Yu chimed in, that's so pro. Help me learn that skill. Let's do it. Come on. He then added, but that's still nothing. What you, Teacher Vu, should be pursuing is this, the transcendent level Thunder Palm. I wonder what kind of effect it has. Then, Teacher Lin snapped his fingers. His panda unleashed a brilliant aura of lightning that enveloped its entire body before concentrating in its arms. Is that a combo skill of hardening and Thunder Palm? As the two stared wide-eyed, Lin Juju said, yes, but it's way stronger than a normal combo skill. My father's iron-eating beast has both its hardening and Thunder Palm skills at the perfection level or higher. Among masters, beast tamers call a combination of skills that are at the perfection level or higher an esoteric art. Before you is one of the esoteric arts my father's beast has mastered. It's called Thunder Armor. With this esoteric art alone, it can battle against monarch-level creatures. Bro, fusing skills on the fly is insanely hard. It's not like an Iron Eater beast can just know Harden, and Thunder Palm and Bam, they're a combo. Even just channeling both Harden and Thunder Palm into its paws at the same time isn't something you can just pull off easily. First, you gotta figure out if the beast can even handle using two skills at once without them bugging out and clashing. The only way to fix that is by leveling up the skill's proficiency. Only when a skill's mastery is high enough, after the beast gets completely cracked at it, can it start fusing that skill with another. The higher the skill mastery is, the more insane the resulting combo skill becomes. In the beast taming world, there's a saying, a combo skill might not be the strongest skill, but the strongest skills are always combo skills. So, based on that logic, high-level beast tamers gave a special name to a combo skill forged from two perfect-level skills, a secret art. Whether a beast can master a secret art and how OP that secret art is the ultimate benchmark for judging how good a beast tamer is at the higher tiers. Hearing this, Teacher Lin thought to himself that this whole secret art talk, for a guy like Shi Yu, who isn't even a professional beast tamer yet, was way too premature. Hell, it's still super early, even for most pro beast tamers. After all, your average pro can't even guarantee they can train one of their beast skills to the perfect level. But with Shi Yu's talent, if he really grinds for it, it's definitely not a problem. Best to just open his eyes to the possibilities for now. Right then, Shi Yu says, this Thunder Armor, I feel like it can still be optimized. Hearing that, all three of them were floored, asking, what are you talking about? Our guy thinks that because the Iron Eater beast's vision kinda sucks, at that insane speed, it probably can't even control its own movements. But Tuju argues that no secret art is ever truly perfect. This move is designed to counter huge opponents that aren't speed-focused, and it's already great for that. But Shi Yu fires back. What if you added NDD, some kind of sensory-type skill? Something to predict the enemy's moves, or to just lock onto their exact position? The effectiveness of Thunder Armor would be on another level. Perfect level hardening, perfect level Thunder Palm, and perfect level supervision. Now that sounds like the truly complete version of the Thunder Armor secret art.